Chapter 1159. Is there anyone else who wants to attack? Fong Ping asked again, blood spilling from his mouth. The two saints attacked him wildly. Fong Ping was even more indifferent and arrogant. Yes, I can't beat two of them alone, but it's not that easy for them to kill me. I have to be more confident when I pretend. If I miss this opportunity, there won't be another one. Fong Ping grinned, blood spilling from his mouth, but he was getting crazier. I've said it before, this is the last time the humans ask for help. In the distance, someone suddenly said, "Human King, is the human race willing to return to the Emperor's side again?" Yuan Gang was not joking. He said seriously, Emperor has led the human race since ancient times. In ancient times, when the human race was in trouble, the Emperor's side never shirked and descended to the human world to slay demons and devils. Now the human race is in trouble again. The Emperor is not here, so I am willing to help the human race survive. But it's not justified. If you are willing to return to the Emperor's side again, the people of the Emperor's side will not sit idly by. After Yuan Gang said that, the void was torn apart again. A beautiful woman walked in the air with an indifferent expression. The Emperor's disciple, Jiu Xian. Yuan Gang looked at Fong Ping and said seriously, Jiu Xian is the head of the female officials in the Emperor's palace. I am the marshal of the Realm Gate. Jiu Xian and I are witnesses that the Emperor's side will help the human race survive. At this time, someone laughed. The Emperor no longer cares about worldly affairs in his later years. Human King, the 9 emperors will return. The Emperor's side is also willing to help the human race survive this disaster. Is the Emperor willing to join the Emperor's side? The Emperor's side is willing to help the human race. The Emperor's side too. The saints who were watching the battle spoke one after another. Roping in the human race. The general trend. The human race was the main character of the big change this time. Roping in the human race, making the human race submit. With the human race's strength, they could not be underestimated now. Fong Ping smiled. His left arm was broken by old lady Tianxiao's attack, but he was still smiling. You want to subdue the human race? Everyone was silent. Yuan Gang seemed to see his indignation and said softly, Human King, please forgive me. This is not adding insult to injury, but you have to pay to get something back. Tian Jin and the other 3, as well as the others, were all experts. Behind them, there were people. We can't bear to sow such karma on our own, unless the human race is one of us. Yuan Gang's words were also very realistic. It was not just 1 or 2 sages. Even now, there were 9 of them. Did he really think that Tiange could gather 9 saints to kill Fong Ping? There must be someone controlling it from behind. He had made a move on his own and sowed a huge grudge. How could he not repay the favor? Only when the human race sided with one side would the other side put in their effort. Only then would they not suffer a loss. Otherwise, if they offended so many sages at once, they would not be able to bear the consequences. At this moment, Tian Jin, who was fighting with Lin Hai, shouted angrily, Guys, are you really going to interfere? Don't make a mistake. This matter is already related to the Emperor. Aren't you afraid that when the day comes to settle the score, no one who interfered today will be able to live? Everyone fell silent. Sky Sword then looked at Lin Hai and slashed out with his sword, clashing with the spear. His face turned pale as he said angrily, Lin Hai, the 4 monarchs of your extreme Dao lineage have fallen. You have the fewest extreme Dao disciples. If you interfere now, do you really want to die? Lin Hai was indifferent. There's no need for threats. The 3 realms are leaderless. Who knows who will be the final winner? If you have the confidence, just ask the Emperor to descend. Humph! Sky Sword snorted coldly. The Heavenly Court's divine army is about to return. The 36 troops will definitely return one by one. Even if you can't kill Fong Ping today, you will not have a good ending. If you help Fong Ping now, you will be seeking your own death. As soon as he said this, one of the onlooking sages sighed softly. The Heavenly Court's divine army. Are there any survivors? Sky Sword said coldly. The 36 troops guarded the 4 directions back then. The heavenly realm was shattered, but there were many fragments that were not destroyed. Naturally, a large number of troops survived. The 36 sages used to lead 36 heavenly courts armies. They fought in the three realms and suppressed all sides. Beyond Avalon, Sex, these forces were all under the jurisdiction of the heavenly court. At its peak, every movement in the three realms was under the control of the heavenly court's armies. The 36 sages controlled the armies. The 8 kings were also the leaders of the armies. In addition, there were top-notch powerhouses like the Divine Weapon Masters. Although the Divine Weapon Masters had left in the later years, the Heavenly Court's armies were still a powerful force that all sides in the three realms feared. An existence that ruled the three realms. At this moment, Yuan Gang said lightly, "The Heavenly Court's divine army is not controlled by all of you. It's all up to you. Even if they return, it doesn't matter." Among the 36 troops, the 9 emperors had their own armies. Many of the 36 sages were under the emperors. Yuan Gang did not care too much. It was best if they returned. In the past, the emperor's disciples had also controlled a few armies. "King Human, have you decided yet?" Yuan Gang looked at Fong Ping. Fong Ping was fighting 1 against 2. He could not match them. Should he return to the emperor's side? At this moment, only the emperor's side had 2 sages descend. The 9 mystic priestess also said softly, "The human race has always been under the emperor's control. Now that the great era has arrived, the emperor will definitely return." King Fong, returning to the emperor's bloodline is what the human race should do. Fong Ping tilted his head and looked at her, smiling brightly. "The human race is under the emperor's side?" "Of course. Then how about making a move now?" Fong Ping smiled. "The human race has gone through too many hardships. These years, human heroes have died in foreign lands. Since the 2 of you have returned, why don't you help the human race? You're also helping your own people. Is that okay?" "King Human." Fong Ping interrupted Yuan Gang with a smile. "Do you really have to talk about pledging allegiance? There's no need for that. If the emperor does a good job, we will naturally follow the emperor. If we follow the emperor, we'll have meat to eat. Why wouldn't we follow him?" Fong Ping smiled again. "Now we're talking about democracy. I don't have the final say in the human race. It's useless even if I, Fong Ping, say surrender. We still have to go back and discuss it. Why don't the 2 of you solve this problem now? I will naturally speak for the emperor's side." "King Human, you must be joking." Yuan Gang smiled. "The human race is naturally under the emperor's control. It's really not." Fong Ping said helplessly, "The human race has too many forces. 6 holy lands, hundreds of countries. Just our Sino nation alone has 4 departments and 4 prefectures. I really don't have the final say. The 2 of you, if you don't help me and I'm killed, then there's nothing to talk about." Yuan Gang frowned slightly. At this moment, Jiu Xian said calmly, "King Fong Human, you've already seized 2 saint tokens. In the name of the Emperor Human, with the saint token on it, heaven and earth as our witness, the human race has returned to the emperor's side. We will naturally help you." Fong Ping laughed. Suddenly he said, "Tiansu, Tianxiao, I'm curious about something. Why do you insist on killing me? The human race is a great threat. So you want to kill me?" The 2 of them did not answer. Fong Ping suddenly transmitted his voice. "I hate it when people threaten me, when people want to ride roughshod over me. I hate it when people take advantage of me. The human race has come this far, and there are actually people who want to take advantage of me. The 2 of you, why don't you cooperate and kill these 2 fellows from the emperor's side?" The 2 of them were stunned. "What? You want to kill me only because you think I'm a threat? But now, can you really kill me?" Fong Ping's tone was calm. "You're ordered by the earthly emperor? The earthly emperor hasn't appeared yet, right? Or maybe it's just Tiangyue talking nonsense. Do you insist on being enemies with the human race? Heavenly Emperor, Sherpa, Cat Protector, suppressing Heavenly King, Martial King. The human race has 5 Heavenly King powerhouses just now. The reincarnation of the 4 Supreme Emperors might revive soon. The 2 of you are also saints. Do you really think that the human race is a fish on the chopping block?" Fong Ping said to himself, "You're all saints. Do you want to become a Heavenly King? Can you become a Heavenly King if you work for others? It's hard to say for the human race. Maybe someone will become a heavenly king soon. What are you afraid of? Is the earthly emperor sure to win? Why are you afraid of him? Even if these emperors are not dead, can they come out now? When they come out, how do you know that I can't become an emperor? Do the two of you insist on going against heaven and going against me? Why don't we disperse now? Everyone will have an explanation. Tiangue is dead. You can't kill me. The others are watching me covetously. Even if they really fight to the death with me, who knows who will benefit in the end? Fong Ping looked at the two of them with a smile, but his attack was not light. Tian Xiao once again broke his golden bones with a blow. Fong Ping took the opportunity to grab Sky Speed's ankle and cut off his ankle with one slash. You two, are you really not going to consider it? Or do you think you can really kill me? The ones who appeared previously were only 3 avatars, not the main body. You two really don't know who this avatar belongs to? As soon as he said this, the two of them finally had a change of expression. When Fong Ping said that he summoned the Heavenly Hound back, not many people believed it. However, those 3 avatars with the combat strength of a saint. At this moment, Sky Speed could not help but transmit his voice. This avatar is Lord God Envoy's? Lord! He used honorifics. Even if the God Envoy back then was only a venerable emperor. But that was the guest of honor of the 9 emperors and 4 emperors. Moreover, the other party's avatars today, 3 avatars, 3 saints. It was simply terrifying. Fong Ping's heart trembled slightly. Only now did he know the identity of that person. God Envoy. He seemed to have heard the cat mention it before, but he did not say much. Even though his heart was shaken, Fong Ping still said quickly, "It's him. He's cultivating in the human world." Back then, he made a huge mistake and owed the human race a huge favor. This time, I just don't want to use this favor completely. Otherwise, the one who came today would be his main body. Although Fong Ping was not too sure what mistake the God Envoy had made, at this moment, he did not mind scaring the other party. His 3 avatars all have the combat strength of a saint. The God Envoy has long broken through 8. Do the two of you think you can defeat him? Their expressions changed again. I just don't want to use this favor on a saint. I want to kill a heavenly king and let the God Envoy make a move, not kill a saint. But don't force me to use this favor. He's in the human world. It's just a matter of an instant. Half-truths and half-lies were the best at fooling people, making a huge mistake, owing a favor. At this moment, the two of them instantly thought of something. Immortal origin. Yes, the God Envoy who had created the immortal origin was indeed guilty to the human world. Since the 3 avatars had come, they must be in the 3 realms and not too far away. This meant that the God Envoy was really in the human world. What kind of strength did that person have? Breaking 8? It was not impossible. Who asked him to be the God Envoy? They were still deep in thought. At this time, Zhou Xian frowned slightly and said, "King Fong, why can't the human race return to the bloodline of the human emperor? Do you still need to consider it?" It was a matter of course. Yes, that was what she thought. It was not just her. Many people thought the same way. At this time, the people from the other bloodlines did not speak much. This was because the human race was under the control of the human emperor. Now that the human emperor's people had arrived, it would be very difficult for them to fight. Fong Ping was facing a crisis. At this time, returning to the bloodline of the human emperor was also an opportunity. In the bloodline of the human emperor, there were already 2 saints who had appeared. Their strength was not weak. Fong Ping laughed, but also felt a little helpless. The two of you, attack now and chase these people away. When they leave and our human race is safe, how about we talk about it? Fong Ping. Zhou Xian was not satisfied with his answer and said in a deep voice, "Lord Human Emperor is about to return. The heaven realm has been destroyed. The human world is Lord's dojo." Fong Ping interrupted. "When will the human emperor return? The human world is a dojo. Then do we need to move?" "That won't be necessary." When Zhou Xian heard him ask about moving, she thought that he had compromised. She smiled and said, "Just move the humans around the Emperor Palace away. Lord Human Emperor takes pity on the common people. Even if it is just an ant, he will not kill a person. This is in line with your human race's philosophy. She also understood a little about the human race. This mortal world in the past seemed to be talking about equality for all living beings now. She was also too lazy to refute anything. Powerhouses were powerhouses. What was there to say about equality for all living beings? However, it was nothing to brush off the current generation human emperor. She still thought it was troublesome to kill an ant. Actually, it was not a big deal. Jiu Xian did not care too much about this. Taking back the human world and bringing it under the command of the human emperor was also what the revived disciples should do now. This was the territory of the human emperor. At this time, the eyes of Sky Speed and Sky Speed flickered. Should they tell Jiu Xian and the others now that Fang Ping wanted to kill them? How about joining forces with them to kill Fang Ping? But if they said it now, probably no one would believe it. No one would think that Fang Ping was actually thinking of joining forces with them to kill the human emperor's people. Fang Ping sighed again. Both of you, must we talk about this now? I said this needs to be discussed. Now that both of you help me, I will definitely speak up for the human emperor's people. How about that? Jiu Xian was getting impatient. Fang Ping, why do you have to refuse? Is there a need to discuss when the human emperor rules the human world? Yuan Gang, and I will naturally help you. As long as you say the word. Say the word to pledge allegiance to the human emperor. Fang Ping thought for a while. It's not impossible, but it's not that easy. How about this? The human race and the catacombs have been fighting for many years. Countless people have been killed by the catacombs. If you want us to pledge allegiance, you have to do something. Over at the 6 southern regions, the catacombs' true gods are still besieging us humans. There are only 6 true gods. How about the 2 of you kill them? As soon as he said that, Jiu Xian frowned. We will know about this in the future. She did not agree. If there were only 6 true gods, then she would agree. But now, Qing Mo and the one fighting with Feng Yun were all from the Earth Emperor God Dynasty. There was also a temple master from the Earth Emperor God Dynasty in the human world. There were 3 saints. If she attacked them, would she not be provoking the enemy for no reason? Even this won't do. Fang Ping looked a little disappointed, but he snorted in his heart. Gain something without risking anything? Am I that stupid? Kill the catacombs people? I don't dare. Kill the saints? I don't dare. We will know in the future. Am I an idiot? Maybe if I agree. These people want me to be the human emperor. The human race has struggled for thousands of years just to be slaves. Previously, he did not hate the descendants of the human emperor. He had met Yuan Gang last time and felt that he was quite tactful. But this newcomer Jiu Xian was a little annoying. The human emperor's female official, Fang Ping, cursed in his heart. Could she be the human emperor's concubine? It felt like even Yuan Gang could not get a word in. Fang Ping did not bother to answer, nor did he refuse. At this moment, he sent another voice transmission. Both of you, are you from the Earth Emperor? Do you have a grudge against the human emperor? Or rather, who do you have a grudge against? I have a lot of saints here too. Timu, Yue, Feng Yunmi, and Song Mao, you have more than 10 saint level. Tell me who you have a grudge against, and I'll kill them together. I don't ask for much, just kill 2 people from the human emperor's bloodline. Everyone will benefit from this. I will rule the world, and you will rule the catacombs. Think about it, the catacombs' forces are complicated now. The ones in the sea are still fine, but over at the catacombs' restricted area, the human emperor's bloodline and Emperor Shi's bloodline are also there. Are you sure you don't need a piece of territory to be a wandering saint? Fang Ping pretended to be serious and said, I've heard that the final battle of the Great Tao requires territory. Only by becoming an overlord will you be qualified to compete. Get the recognition of heaven and earth. Otherwise, a wandering powerhouse like you is not qualified to participate. Needless to say, as soon as this was said, the 2 of them took it seriously. They did not take it seriously, but the possibility was higher. At this moment, Tiansu secretly sent a voice transmission to Tianxiao, the Imperial Tao, the Tao that protects all living beings. The 9 emperors have proven their Tao, but the 4 emperors can't. Maybe it has something to do with their different identities back then. Tianxiao's eyes flickered. This was actually not a new rumor. Back then, the 9 emperors and 4 emperors had proven their Tao, and the 4 emperors had failed. Actually, there were already rumors. The 9 emperors were overlords back then, while the 4 emperors, even the Celestial Annihilation Emperor, had only taken in a few disciples and did not care much about other things. It was hard to say whether the emperors who had proven their Tao needed territory and power. The 9 emperors did not say it, and neither did the 4 emperors. However, nowadays, it was true that the catacombs and the Forbidden Sea's power was complicated. The 9 emperors and the supreme Tao disciples were all here. The human world was too small. In addition, the humans were stationed here. Fang Ping and the others were not weak either. No one thought of going to the human world to establish their orthodoxy. Now, the human emperor's bloodline had this thought. For a moment, the two of them's attack frequency decreased slightly. Yes, Fang Ping was right about one thing. At least for now, the human world and their side were the most powerful. If they joined forces, there would be more than 10 saint powerhouses, and the saints in the periphery added up would not be as many as them. Now, they still had to be careful of these people interfering, taking advantage of the situation, and watching the show for a moment. They were really tempted. However, Fang Ping was really a big threat. Too dangerous. Struggle. Should they join forces with Fang Ping and kill the others, or continue to surround and kill Fang Ping? Li Zhu said that if he saw Fang Ping, he should kill him immediately and not speak. Obviously, the two sages had never heard of this before. If he had heard it before, he wouldn't be so conflicted now. On one side was Fang Ping, who was difficult to kill, and the god-crafting envoy in the dark. In the end, he might fall. On the one hand, he could kill some people and gain control of the forbidden area. Where should I go? At that moment, Tian Su suddenly transmitted a message to Sky Sword. Sky Sword's movements turned sluggish, and his head was almost pierced by Lin Hai's spear. Sky Sword could not care less about all this. He turned his head to look at Fang Ping, his gaze a little complicated. Joining hands with Fang Ping. He had never thought about this problem. What was wrong with Fang Ping? They had already fought to this point, and Tian Gui was already dead. Yet he still wanted to join hands. At this moment, Sky Sword suddenly spoke. Everyone, even if you don't want to join forces to kill Fang Ping, please leave now. Yuan Gang, Jiu Xian, do you really think we're dead? Hurry up and leave. Otherwise, it won't benefit anyone if we fall out. Jiu Xian frowned. Yuan Gang did not say anything. Sky Sword snorted coldly again. Taking advantage. Is it your turn? If you don't leave now, the consequences will be unpredictable. The others were silent. Fang Ping, on the other hand, was a little strange. I was just saying it casually. I didn't plan to use any tricks. I'm not someone who likes to play tricks. I don't mean to play tricks either. I'm the king of man now. I want to win fair and square. Why does Sky Sword's words sound like a final warning? Fang Ping cursed in his heart and explained to himself, that's right. We're fighting to the death. A group of people is watching outside, watching a monkey show. Sky Sword is angry and wants to kill them. It has nothing to do with me. But if he really makes a move, it's not a big deal if I kill the people from the Emperor's bloodline, isn't it? Compared to these people who besieged him, Fang Ping hated people who hit him when he was down even more. Besieging him to kill him was also a clear display of hostility. The Emperor's bloodline actually wanted to force him to submit to the Emperor now. If he really submitted, then what about the people who died in battle for thousands of years? They even wanted to make Earth a Runhuang dojo. Dojo my ass. Finding a few masters for himself. Was he out of his mind? They were not ordinary masters either. They were masters who could seize life and death at will. If there was a disagreement, they would wipe out your entire clan. It would be weird if Fang Ping agreed to it. If he dared to agree to it, old Zhang would tear him apart directly when he returned. At this moment, Fang Ping looked at Sky Sword. Sky Sword also looked at Fang Ping. A group of people was clearly fighting a bloodbath, but the atmosphere gradually became a little strange. More than a dozen saint powerhouses. If both sides did not kill each other, Would it be anyone else's turn to take advantage? Yue, Lin Hai, and Feng Yun will listen to you? At this moment, Sky Sword's voice rang in Fong Ping's mind. Fong Ping's eyes revealed a faint smile. Interesting. They took the bait. That was fast. Feng Yun and Yue are investing. It's not a big problem. As for Lin Hai, I'm not sure. But let me say this first. They're people from the Emperor's bloodline. After all, these two fellows are too arrogant. They forced me. Actually, they don't care about you guys at all. They look like they'll attack you anytime. If they don't die, I might really surrender to them. I'm sure they'll be happy to do that. Sky Sword was silent for a moment. Very quickly, he transmitted his voice. All right. You, Sky Speed, Sky Qiao, Yue, and Feng Yun will work together to kill Zhishuan. As for the rest, let Sky Emperor release the two saints. We'll work together to kill Yuan Gang. With 5 saints working together, killing one saint was not difficult at all. At this moment, Sky Sword made a decision. They would be people from the Emperor's bloodline. It just so happened that the Emperor's bloodline was currently in Haoding Shao Dutian, which was in the core of the restricted area. In fact, they were in conflict with them. Killing Fong Ping was very difficult now. Since they could not kill the humans, it was also good to take root in the catacombs. Otherwise, it would be easy to cause conflict. Fong Ping licked his lips, full of smiles. Interesting. However, he still had to be more careful. If Sky Sword and the rest joined forces against these two saints, it would be troublesome. Don't think about Cat. If you guys work together, it won't be difficult to kill Yuan Gang. If I don't kill these two, I won't let Cat release the seal. Sky Sword's gaze changed. Cat had trapped 2 saints. If they did not release the seal, they would not have much of an advantage against Fong Ping. Obviously, Fong Ping was also guarding against their counterattack at any time. They seemed to have stopped fighting. At this moment, Cosmic Dragon suddenly said. Kai Dai said lightly, "It's very difficult for them to take down the king. Plus, we are here." It's not surprising that they stopped fighting. Cosmic Dragon nodded slightly. That was true. If the 2 saints wanted to kill Fong Ping, they would naturally have a big advantage. However, they could not kill Fong Ping. If this dragged on, they would be exhausted. Sky Sword and the rest were also afraid. Speaking of which, although they did not attack, they still helped Fong Ping. Otherwise, without spectators, Sky Sword and the rest would never give up. Cosmic Dragon sighed. There was no need to watch anymore. Tian Gui died in vain. No one expected Fong Ping to be able to kill a saint. Moreover, the humans had a lot of help. After fighting for so long, both sides were a little afraid. The battle was probably going to end soon. They did not forget the 3 clones just now. They did not know where the one in the dark was. It was inevitable that Sky Sword and the rest were afraid. Unless a heavenly king appeared now or a few more saints came, otherwise this battle should be over. Chapter 1160. Cosmic Dragon felt that the battle should be over. The other saints also felt that it was about time. Zhou Xian and Yuan Gang were a little disappointed. Tian Xiao and Sky Speed's attacks were not as good as before. It seemed like they were hesitating whether to continue fighting or not. 10 saints attacked. 1 died. 7 of the remaining 9 were pinned down. 2 against 1. It was possible for 2 against 1 to kill someone of the same rank, but it was not easy. Especially someone like Fong Ping, who was especially difficult to kill. At this moment, everyone felt that it was about to end. The battle ended with Tian Gui's death. Kai Dai and the others were a little emotional. At this moment, Kai Dai from the Spirit Emperor bloodline was still a little emotional. Tian Gui died. His death was not worth it, but it's good to stop fighting. She glanced at Zhou Xian and Yuan Gang. It was not bad to stop fighting. If the battle continued, Fong Ping might really ask for help from the Emperor bloodline. If that happened, the humans would be subdued by the Emperor. This was not in line with the interests of all parties. Stopping fighting now was the most in line with everyone's expectations. These people all felt that it was time to end. In the distance, the cat was also tired. It wiped its fat face with its paws. It did not matter if it was sweaty or not. The battle was finally over. This cat was exhausted. How much did I lose this time? At this moment, The cat was still in the mood to chat with the two trapped saints. You guys, you owe me a big fish. Go fishing next time. This cat is going back to eat. Yes, it was time to go back to eat. Since the battle was over, why not go back to eat? At this moment, the two saints wanted to cry, but had no tears. However, they had completed their mission and trapped the cat. Yes, trapped the cat. Did you see that? The cat has not joined the battle until now, because it was trapped by the two of us. The two saints were helpless too. It was good. Tian Gui's death was his bad luck. How would he know that there were so many powerhouses in the human world helping him? The key was that Fong Ping had broken through to true God and possessed the combat strength of a saint. This made others want to invest in him. At this moment, even the two saints were a little worried. They felt that there was no need to continue fighting. If they continued fighting, a saint might fall today. Before coming, no one thought that anyone would die. At least no saints would die. On this side, the three of them were ready to go home and look for their mothers. The others were also ready to leave. The show was over. Next, they had to think about the changes of the situation in the future. However, the next moment, the gray cat, who was just about to wrap up, suddenly widened its eyes. Dumbfounded. The cat was dumbfounded. What happened? Who can tell this cat what happened? It was so dumbfounded that it almost dropped its fishing rod. The two trapped saints were also dumbfounded. The mentality of a saint was so good. But now, he really couldn't stay calm. One of the sages was about to lose control. Tell me what happened. Ah! A shrill scream resounded throughout the world. In the distance, Fong Ping, Yu Wei, Feng Yun, Tian Su, Tian Jian, Tian Xiao, Jiang Hao, Qin Yamo, the viceroy of the Divine Court Army, and the unfamiliar ancient saint. Apart from Lin Hai, all 10 powerhouses with the combat strength of a saint attacked at the same time. 5 sages besieging a single person. As Kai Dai and the others fled in terror, Fong Ping and the other 4 charged toward Jiu Xian in an instant. Sky Sword and the others also charged towards Yuan Gang in the blink of an eye. 10 versus 2. At this moment, the 5 saints' tokens soared into the sky and hid in space, sealing the world. Fong Ping charged straight into the 9 mystic Great Tao. With all his strength, he slashed down with his saber. Rumble! Jiu Xian screamed. She couldn't care less. She really couldn't afford to be distracted. At this moment, the other 4 saint-level powerhouses attacked her at the same time. 5 sages could even fight a heavenly king, let alone a newly awakened saint. Damn it! Jiu Xian let out a shrill roar. Why? She really didn't expect these two to join forces. This was impossible. Was it all an act earlier? But who would use a saint's life as a bargaining chip? At this moment, Taoist Feng Yun looked sympathetic. This Fong Ping guy was very strange. The Emperor's bloodline took advantage of the situation now. He felt that these guys were going to be unlucky. However, he was thinking about the future. He thought that Fong Ping would pretend to agree and then break his promise. This Fong Ping guy would not really admit defeat. As for heaven and earth to witness, did Fong Ping care? Who would have thought that Fong Ping was so ruthless? Right now, he was mixing with the enemy and killing the Emperor's powerhouses. Bitch, how dare you threaten me? Fong Ping's slash caused her Tao to collapse. The others attacked one after another, hitting the 9 mystic golden body until it exploded. Fong Ping returned, his vitality exploding. The entire void was filled with Fong Ping's vitality. Emperor, the humans are fighting everywhere, but the Emperor hasn't come to help. Do you think you're worthy? Fong Ping's eyes were cold. With a punch, her head exploded. Jiu Xian was injured by the other 4 sages. Her Tao was damaged by Fong Ping. How could she be Fong Ping's opponent when he was at his peak? Jiu Xian's head recovered instantly. It was incomparably sharp. She roared, "How dare you rebel? Rebel!" Fong Ping's eyes were so cold that he wanted to kill someone. Rebel? Did she really think of herself as the master? She still dared to talk like this in the face of death. Lock her down, Fong Ping roared. Feng Yun and the others attacked one after another. Their mentality erupted, suppressing Jiu Xian. Fong Ping did not say anything. With a slap, he smashed her head again. Come out! Fong Ping roared, forcibly extracting her mentality. In the next moment, an illusory figure appeared. Jiu Xian's mentality. Fong Ping, how dare you? His Majesty is returning. Fong Ping, you can't kill me. His Majesty will not let you go. Spare me. From the initial rage to the subsequent begging, Jiu Xian changed very quickly. She screamed shrilly, "Spare me! I am His Majesty's envoy. I am willing to surrender to the humans. I know many secrets. Yes, I also know where the Emperor's sword is. Spare me. That is the orthodox divine weapon of the humans." At this moment, even the other sages were slightly stunned when they heard this. However, Fong Ping was still as cold as an iceberg. Emperor's sword? Do I care? Divine weapons are very powerful, but I can't tolerate a sages who are hostile to me living. At this point, do you still want to live? Fong Ping unleashed his full strength, forcibly compressing his mentality. In an instant, Jiu Xian was suppressed like a ball by him. Flames rose on Fong Ping's body. Jiu Xian's compressed head was extremely terrifying. At this moment, her eyes revealed fear and despair. Don't worry, I will destroy your source world completely. I want to see if His Majesty has the ability to resurrect you again. Fong Ping sneered. His palm became bigger and he roared. Rumble! Heaven and earth fell silent. Fong Ping's mentality exploded. Flesh and blood splattered everywhere. But he did not dodge. He did not dodge. Who knew if a wisp of Jiu Xian's mentality would escape if he dodged it? Not only that, at this time, Fong Ping entered Jiu Xian's source world again. A broken world. His mentality was destroyed. Jiu Xian was about to die. However, Fong Ping was ruthless. Entering the source world, he slashed wildly with his saber. In the next moment, his own source world descended directly. With a rumble, the source world that was not very big was smashed into pieces. Fong Ping left in an instant. In the sky, this time, the firmament was completely broken. A large path broke with a crack. Blood clouds and rain spread rapidly. At this moment, not only the catacombs and the forbidden sea, even the earth was covered in blood clouds and rain of blood. 2 ancient sages died in one day. Fong Ping killed Jiu Xian quickly. At this moment, Sky Sword, who was attacking Yuan Gang, suddenly retracted his sage order. Yuan Gang was seriously injured and terrified. Without a second word, he fled quickly. Sky Sword and Fong Ping looked at each other, both of them smiling. Fong Ping smiled. Do you think I care about having one more sage enemy? Sky Sword, you're too narrow-minded. Sky Sword deliberately let Yuan Gang go. Both sides swapped sides. On Fong Ping's side, Yu Wei, Feng Yun, and Jiang Hao returned quickly. On the other side, a frowning Lin Hai also flew over at this moment. Tian Xiao and Tiansu also rushed to Sky Sword's side. Sky Sword said lightly, "Do you think the Emperor's bloodline only has one sage? You killed Jiu Xian. Jiu Xian is not simple. She is the head of the Emperor's female officials. Do you know what that means? Fong Ping, your human race has always had disputes with the Emperor's bloodline. Originally, you might have been on the same side. Today, you killed Jiu Xian. Just wait for the Emperor's bloodline to take revenge on you. Moreover, the human world is the Emperor's dojo. This is already a foregone conclusion. At this moment, you don't even have the chance to compromise. Fong Ping, do you really think you can plot against the masses?" He just went with the flow. He found a great enemy for the human world. The Emperor's bloodline and Fong Ping would not rest until one of them was dead. Fong Ping killed Jiu Xian. This was also the reason why Tiansu and Tian Xiao did not make a move earlier. Now that they let Yuan Gang go, Yuan Gang would not seek revenge on them. He would only look for Fong Ping. Fong Ping sneered, extremely disdainful. "So what? Sky Sword, you're too narrow-minded. I've said it before, the sage is nothing. So, what if he's a heavenly king?" Fong Ping looked around and saw the sages fleeing at high speed. Suddenly, he laughed maniacally. The human race stands tall in the 3 realms not by compromising, but by being tough. Whoever wants to kill me, just come. Do you dare? Fong Ping's laughter shook the sky. He looked at Sky's sword and the rest. Get lost. If you can't kill me, then stay in the catacombs. If Yuan Gang dares to come, then don't go back. Sky Sword looked at the sages on his side, then at the two people who were entangled by the cat. He said lightly, the king's spirit is so great. Sky Sword will naturally not make an enemy of the king. Let them go. This battle ends here. Tiangue is already dead. You and I don't have to fight to the end. Fong Ping said playfully, why are you in such a hurry? We have so many sages on both sides. Why don't we do something bigger? There are still many forces in the 9 Emperors' extreme path. The Divine Emperor, Emperor Shi, Emperor Nan, and Emperor Dong have not expressed their stance yet. The North Emperor Royal House chose to support Fong Ping. The Spirit Emperor's bloodline, Yu Wuhua, was attacking. The Beast Emperor's bloodline, Long Xian, was attacking. On Emperor Nan's side, Li Wuji was still being besieged. That Emperor Nan's disciple did not care. Fong Ping did not count him in. He would kill this guy if he could. The Emperor's bloodline, Yuan Gang, was scared out of his wits. No one knew where he had escaped to now. The Earthly Emperor's bloodline was really powerful. Sky Sword and the others, including those from the Earthly Emperor God Dynasty, might all be from the Earthly Emperor's bloodline. It was frightening. This emperor, who was the first to plan, had connections with the divine sect, Hong Yu, the catacombs, the royal house, many forces. It could be said that among the forces that had come out so far, the Earthly Emperor's bloodline was the most powerful. Unfortunately, it was also very chaotic internally. The divine sect and the catacombs seemed to be at odds. Hong Yu and Hong Kuan were not on good terms. Moon Spirit was from the North Emperor's bloodline, but she did not recognize the Earthly Emperor's people. Otherwise, the saints of the Earthly Emperor's bloodline would be terrifying. The 2 kings, the 3 sect protectors, the current few temple masters, as well as Sky Sword and the others, it was enough to take over the 3 realms. This was the result of the Earthly Emperor's avatar ruling the 3 realms for 3,000 years. The other emperors could not compare to the Earthly Emperor. Sky Sword and the others looked at Fong Ping in shock. Fong Ping said playfully, are you afraid? Why does the 3 realms need so many forces? Is it waiting for others to be the fishermen? If both of us join forces, who will we be afraid of? You even dare to kill me. Who wouldn't dare? Today, those who don't listen will be killed. Hesitation is the biggest taboo. This is the reason why I, Fong Ping, have achieved saint combat strength in 3 years. But you are still saints. Fong Ping's tone was cold. He looked at the powerhouses who were escaping and said with a smile, I'll leave the West Emperor's bloodline to you. They're in the catacombs. You don't want to divide the territory with others, right? What about you? Fong Ping said with a smile, I'm going to kill Emperor Nan's people. How dare he? Li Wuji is the sea guardian that I conferred. He dared to interfere and seize the Water Force Island. Who gave him the guts? Sky Sword, it's up to you to choose whether you want to stand side by side or fight for supremacy. Sky Sword looked at the others. The Viceroy of the Earthly Emperor God Dynasty, the Cold Saint, looked at Fong Ping deeply. Soon he said calmly, retreat. Both of us stop fighting. Since the other sects have not recovered their vitality, then kill them. Fong Ping, I have underestimated you. You're welcome. Fong Ping strode away in the air. Soon, he passed by the cat and said with a smile, let them go. The cat was still a little sluggish. Hearing that, it mumbled, let them go? What if I hit you? If it happened again, it might not have the chance to trap the 2 of them. Fong Ping said with a smile, it's okay. The God-forging envoy's real body is here. Who? The cat was stunned for a moment. Then, it was suddenly overjoyed and said excitedly, God-forging envoy? Fat old man? Is the fat old man alive? Yeah, I'm going to look for him to hit the pot, hit the divine peeking mirror, hit a lot of things. The cat was extremely excited. The old man who knew how to hit the pot was alive. Finally, there was a pot to stew fish. Fat old man, come out. I want a pot. I want a shovel, I want a cat palace. At this moment, the expressions of the two saints who were trapped in the silk threads changed. God-forging envoy. Did that mean that the three clones from before were his? That's right. Who else could it be other than this person who was able to play with doppelgangers to such a superb level? Behind them, Sky's sword and the others who followed him also looked solemn. One by one, they looked around, extremely vigilant. Their truce with Fong Ping was also related to the God-forging envoy. Not only was this guy alive, but he was also very powerful. His clones had the strength of a saint. It was too scary. Fong Ping was like a fox borrowing the tiger's might, smiling brightly. Don't worry, he can't come out. When he comes out, someone is going to cause trouble for him. He has to hide. Hide? The cat suddenly arched its body and said sneakily, "Is that how you hide?" Fong Ping was speechless. "I'm not talking about you. Let these two pieces of trash go." Fong Ping smiled and said, "Remember them. Later, make them kowtow and apologize. Otherwise, let the Celestial Emperor and the others skin them and pull out their bones. How dare they make a move on anyone? Do they really think that the three realms is in chaos?" Fong Ping's eyes were cold. He glanced at the two saints, making them feel cold. "You two, how dare the cat move? Are you tired of living? Do you really think that Emperor Spirit is dead?" The two saints were even more frightened. Fong Ping sneered. The old saint had to say, "We did not make things difficult for the Sky Emperor." The more he thought about it, the more bitter he felt. The two of them really did not do anything to the cat. The cat said that they were fishing, and both of them accompanied him. They did not do anything. Fong Ping ignored them. He stepped on the air and said with a smile, "I'll have to trouble Saint Yu Wei and Saint Feng Yun to accompany me. I want to see if Emperor Nan's bloodline has eaten the courage of a leopard." Yu Wei glanced at Daoist Feng Yun. Daoist Feng Yun smiled and stepped on the air. He said, "Human King, are you really going to make a move?" "I don't lie." Fong Ping lied through his teeth. He smiled and said, "So be it. What can you do to me? Today I will prove my Tao at the peak. Tomorrow, I will prove my Tao as an emperor and kill a heavenly king. The emperor has reappeared. I will prove my Tao as a heavenly king and kill an emperor. Why can't I?" Rumble, heaven and earth roared. Fong Ping looked up at the sky and suddenly scolded. "Try and kill me? A bunch of old farts. I don't know where they're still trapped. Do you think I'm afraid of you? What emperor or not? Try and kill me now if you have the ability. If you really have the ability, do you still need to wait until now?" Everyone was stunned. This guy was crazy. Too scary. He was so inflated that he was about to explode. He was provoking the emperor. Now that things had come to this, everyone also felt that even if there were emperors dead, there would definitely not be all dead. But Fong Ping was provoking them. The emperor was the symbol of invincibility. Truly invincible. Once the earthly emperor's avatar appeared, it suppressed the three realms for 3,000 years. None of those heavenly kings dared to move. This was the emperor. Fong Ping was too bold. Fong Ping was fearless. He did not believe that the emperor would appear now. If he was really there, would he have waited until now? Of course, it was another matter if he had a plan. But since he had a plan, he would not make a move now. For a few words, he had ruined their 10,000-year plan. Such an emperor was an idiot. At this moment, Fong Ping had already stepped into the air and arrived at the 6th Southern Region Sea. At this time, Sky Sword and the others had also arrived. Without a word, Fong Ping stretched out his hand and grabbed Ji Hong. On the other side, the viceroy of Earthly Emperor God Dynasty snorted coldly and slapped his palm. "Fong Ping, do you want to fight again?" Fong Ping said coldly, "Do you think I'm afraid? Ji Hong has guts. I'll protect your daughter's life, but you dare to attack the human race. How gutsy." As soon as he said that, his vitality erupted and he shouted coldly, "Kneel down and apologize. Otherwise, if there is another holy war today, I will kill you." Fong Ping, Sky Sword, and the others were furious. Fong Ping's god-slaying saber was out. Even if the other side had two more saints, Fong Ping was still incomparably domineering. "Then let's fight again." Ji Hong, kneel down now. Otherwise, I'll sacrifice you to the blade today. Ji Hong's expression was livid. He'd actually been forced to kneel by Fong Ping in front of the powerhouses of the three realms. This was simply going too far, and it was worse than killing him. In Mount Royal Sea's direction, Ji Yao also clenched her fists tightly. Fong Ping's voice was so loud that she heard it too. She did not expect Fong Ping to be like this. Make her father kneel down and apologize. That was the king of the imperial court. Fong Ping's gaze was sharp. If you don't kneel, then wait for death. If you don't die today, I will kill you within 10 days. Not only will I kill you, I will also destroy your Ji clan. Do you think you're omnipotent after inheriting Qi Huanyu's Dao? Don't forget that I killed both Qi Huanyu and the Fate Monarch. Fong Ping's murderous intent soared to the heavens. On the catacomb side, the few saints were also furious. How could he kneel? Fong Ping was looking for trouble. Could it be that the god-crafting envoy had come? Everyone was on high alert. Fong Ping suddenly burst into laughter, his voice shaking the 9 heavens. He said loudly, "This is the catacombs king. Ridiculous? The human race would rather die in battle than surrender. The catacombs were just clowns. The human race defeat them. The human race is invincible. The human king is invincible." At this moment, there were loud roars coming from every region. Pillars of vitality shook the heavens and the earth. It was so satisfying. The catacombs' great enemy. Today, even the Lord was humiliated like a clown. As for kneeling or not, it was not important. What was important was that Fong Ping asked him to kneel, and Ji Hong did not even dare to say a word of rebuttal. 6 southern regions. Tang Fong and the others laughed wildly. On the other side, the morale of the army was shaken. One by one, the powerhouses' faces were ashen. They had suppressed the human race for thousands of years, and today they were completely defeated. Even if countless powerhouses from the catacombs returned, they still felt defeated. The human king forced the lord of the imperial court to kneel, and no one dared to draw their sabers against him. Those saints were afraid of something. If it was the human race, they suddenly felt that if it was the human race, they would definitely resist. Even if they were no match, they would never let their king suffer such humiliation. 8 southern regions, 9 southern regions. All the outer regions were laughing loudly at this moment. Even if their military strength was not as good as the other party, they were still incomparably savage and arrogant. It was satisfying. It was really satisfying. They had been suppressed by the catacombs for countless years, and countless humans had died in battle. Today was really satisfying. The human king asked the lord of the imperial court to kneel in front of everyone, and no one dared to draw their sabers. This was the domineering and awe-inspiring human race. So what if they were no match? As long as their bones were tough. One by one, the catacombs' powerhouses looked sorrowful and indignant. The viceroy of the Divine Court Army also looked cold at this moment. He sensed some of the situation. At this moment, he said coldly, "Fong Ping, bullying others with strength is unbecoming of the human king. I am a paragon." Fong Ping was calm and composed. "I am invincible among those of the same rank. Whoever dares to say they are not convinced, come and fight me at the same rank. In the 3 realms, I am the strongest among those of the same rank. If the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors suppress me to the paragon, I am also willing to fight." Fong Ping laughed loudly and said, "In the 3 realms, are there any paragons willing to fight? If I can't kill you in 3 moves, I, the human king, will kill myself here." Silence. At this moment, everyone remembered again that this fellow had just become a true god. Fong Ping's arrogance could not be any greater. Once again, he stepped into the air and left. Behind him, Wu Quishan and the rest were extremely excited and followed one after another. On the other side, the few demons that surrounded Wu Quishan fled one after another. Horror, fear, regret. The giant bull was covered in wounds, but at this moment, he could not suppress his excitement and agitation. He looked up to the sky and let out a long roar. I won the bet. Ha! I won. The domineering human king was too domineering. Fong Ping tore through the void and stepped forward. He said with a smile, "Follow me to the water-force divine island. How dare a mere saint steal the territory of the human race's sea guardian envoy? I will go and kill him." The bowl with Wu Quishan's mouth cracked open. He did not know whether to laugh or cry. He was so conflicted. Did he really have to follow the human king and kill that fellow? It was not appropriate. He was from the bloodline of Emperor Nan, after all. But he was so looking forward to it, he really wanted to kill that fellow. How dare he bully this old bull? P.S. I'm a little dizzy from writing. I caught a cold. After thinking for a long time, only the monthly ticket can cure Old Eagle. Chapter 1161. The second saint had fallen. At this moment, the three realms were drenched in blood. As for Fong Ping, he led everyone across the forbidden sea calmly. Everywhere, countless demonic beasts fled in terror. Some of the most powerful demonic beasts were so terrified that they fled into the depths of the forbidden sea. Something had happened. Big trouble. Today, human King Fong Ping proved his Tao and killed two saints, shocking the three realms. Dragon Island. Cosmic Dragon tore the void and landed on Dragon Island. At this moment, there was a true god-giant dragon on Dragon Island. Seeing Cosmic Dragon's arrival, it wanted to greet him. Although it saw the blood rain, it was not clear what was going on. But before it could speak, Cosmic Dragon said in fear, "Quickly activate the array. Summon Dragon Pavilion back and guard Dragon Island. Quick!" Cosmic Dragon was scared. It did not expect that Fong Ping would choose to cooperate with Sky Sword and kill Jiu Xian of the Emperor's bloodline. Now that Jiu Xian was killed and Yuan Gang escaped, the other bloodlines were in danger. North Emperor and Extreme Tao had sided with Fong Ping. The Emperor's bloodline was defeated. Cosmic Dragon felt that Fong Ping would deal with it next. Who asked it to show up and take back the Beast Emperor's staff? At this moment, it could only summon Dragon Pavilion back to guard Dragon Island. Dragon Pavilion had participated in the war and helped humans. Did Fong Ping not care about it? Cosmic Dragon was terrified. On the island, the giant turned into a human and asked hurriedly, "Master, what's wrong?" "Quick, don't ask." Cosmic Dragon roared. Who had the mood to explain at this time? The powerhouse guarding Dragon Island did not dare to ask anymore. He hurriedly used the secret treasure to summon Dragon Pavilion back. At this moment, the void near Cosmic Dragon shook. A butterfly phantom appeared and said hurriedly, "We can't split up. Quick, contact the powerhouses of each bloodline and gather in one place. We can't sit here and wait for death." As soon as the words came out, Cosmic Dragon sobered up and said quickly, "All right, your Spirit Emperor bloodline, Yu Wuhua, also help the humans. Let Yu Wuhua return and let her and Dragon Pavilion appear." Butterfly did not hesitate and said quickly, "All right, I'm coming. Gather at Dragon Island." Butterfly was also anxious. Most of the 9 Emperor bloodline had only revived one saint. Now that they were scattered, they would definitely die if Fong Ping or Sky Sword blocked them. The families hadn't considered this before, but now that Jiu Xian of the human emperor's bloodline had been killed, they all came to their senses. In the 3 realms, humans were not the weakest. This was no longer the era of the emperors. Yes, they were all negligent. They had just been revived, and some of them were still immersed in the ancient times. When the 9 emperors were still alive, who would dare to invade the emperor's retreat? These sages had never thought of attacking the people of the emperor's bloodline. The catacombs had gathered such a powerful force, and they were also thinking of destroying the human world. However, Fong Ping, Sky Sword, and the others joined forces to kill Jushuan. The saint of the emperor's bloodline was killed, and everyone came to their senses. This was no longer the ancient times. It was no longer their era. In this era, the strongest were the humans and the Earth Domain. Yes, the Earth Domain. With the return of the temple masters of the earthly emperor divine dynasty, the previously powerful catacombs royal court became stronger again. The governor of the divine court army had returned. If Fate King and the others were still around, they might not have acknowledged these people. Perhaps a war would have broken out. Even if they were no match for them, Fate King might not have compromised. But today, Fate King was dead. Li Zhu had left, and the myriad Demon King and Sky Demon King were both in the fake sky grave. The Catacombs Royal Court with only 2 or 3 insignificant people could not resist at all. They were also unwilling to resist. They also needed strong reinforcements. The 3 realms returned to the previous situation once again. The Catacombs were the strongest, followed by the humans, and then the other forces, not the ones who dominated the 3 realms. At this moment, these people came to their senses and quickly contacted all parties. Gather. Only by gathering would they have the power to resist. Otherwise, facing so many sages alone, unless they were heavenly kings, they would still be sages no matter how strong they were. They would definitely die. On Dragon Island, powerhouses from all sides began to arrive one after another. The East Emperor's Saint, the Emperor's Saint, everyone's expression was solemn. Water Force Divine Island. This was Fong Ping's first time coming to Water Force Divine Island. At this moment, Fong Ping was walking in the air, his aura ostentatious. He had no intention of restraining himself. From afar, he saw the saint of Emperor Nan's bloodline breaking through the air to escape. Fong Ping said coldly, "Why are you running, King of Humans?" The other party's expression was no longer cold. At this moment, he was extremely unwilling and a little sullen. He said angrily, "I did not attack the humans. Why are you attacking Emperor Nan's bloodline, King of Humans?" Fong Ping said lightly, "Can you represent Emperor Nan's bloodline? Who are you? Who do you think you are?" "Li Wuji is the sea guardian I conferred. Don't you know? How dare they try to take over the water strength God Island? Who gave you the guts?" The other party was even more sullen. He said angrily, "I am Emperor Nan's 7th disciple. Water Force Divine Island is where Water Force is. I will temporarily stay here." Fong Ping did not waste any time, walking in the air directly toward him. A dignified saint at this moment was terrified. Without saying a word, he broke into a run. Fong Ping sneered. Behind him, Li Wuji was also exhilarated and complicated. When this person came, he was incomparably domineering, directly seizing Water Force Divine Island, claiming to be Emperor Nan's disciple, without any intention of being a guest, occupying Water Force Divine Island and the Water Force Imperial Palace the moment he arrived. Although Li Wuji was indignant, he also felt that his elder ancestor was also Emperor Nan's bloodline. With this person here, he would more or less have a backer, who knew that not only did this guy not support him, today he even allowed other demons to kill him, expelling him from Emperor Nan's bloodline. "Weren't you very domineering before? Weren't you very arrogant?" Li Wuji cursed in his heart. Was he afraid now? Running away? Seeing that Fong Ping was here, he did not even dare to fart. What a shame! Li Wuji thought to himself. Beside him, Jiao, on the other hand, peeked at Water Force Divine Island. When it saw the glorious Water Force Imperial Palace, Jiao swallowed a little. It did not know. This big water buffalo did have some family background. At this moment, Jiao transmitted its voice to Li Wuji. "Water buffalo, my elder ancestor will be returning soon, and he also needs to find a place to stay. Do you think your imperial palace can be lent to me for a few days?" Li Wuji almost kicked it to death with one hoof. What was it thinking? Fong Ping did not care about them. Right now, Fong Ping's speed was extremely fast, breaking through the void, his movements leisurely, directly forcing the other party to keep escaping. Beside him, Jiang Hao had been holding it in for a long time. At this moment, he said in a low voice, "Must you kill him?" He felt that Fong Ping was a little too optimistic. Killing a saint was not difficult now, but after all, Feng Yun and the others were not humans. If they could not be killed, then the humans would also be in danger. Fong Ping smiled. "No rush. If I can kill him, then I'll wipe him out in one go. If I can't kill him, I'll wait and see. I've said it before, killing all the people in ancient times might be wrong, but killing 90% of them is definitely not wrong." Behind him, The few powerhouses from ancient times were all speechless. At this moment, Saint Yu Wei said indifferently, Fong Ping, there are some things that I want to make clear. Take advantage of the situation. I will help you. But if there is a big crisis, then don't blame me for leaving. Fong Ping smiled. That's what I should do. This time, I also thank the North Emperor's bloodline for helping. As Fong Ping said that, he looked at Yu Wei and smiled. I want to ask Saint Yu Wei, how many saints are there in this three realms? How many heavenly kings? Yu Wei frowned slightly, shaking her head. I don't know. I also don't know who has been resurrected and who has completely fallen. But back then, under the 9 emperors, each family had 7 or 8, and there were also 36 saints, powerhouses from various places. Under the Palm Seal, 3 envoys. Under the 8 kings at its peak, there were probably 200 saints in heaven. Taoist Feng Yun continued. After heaven was destroyed, there were actually many saints born in the 3 realms. During the chaotic era, there were a few saints born. During the Demon Emperor dynasty, there were also some. Fong Ping smiled. So, there are hundreds of saints in the 3 realms? Taoist Feng Yun shook his head. Not to that extent. Back then, there were still many who completely fell. Of course, there were some who advanced later, such as Venerable Emperor Qing Tong. They were all saint powerhouses who advanced later. After thinking for a while, Taoist Feng Yun judged, there are probably 100 saints in the 3 realms, including those in the Sky Tomb. Fong Ping raised his eyebrows. That's quite a lot. In this year, only 4 died. So, at this rate, it will still take about 10 years for 10 to die a year? Taoist Feng Yun was suddenly speechless. Tens of thousands of years of accumulation in the 3 realms. You arranged everything and killed them all in 10 years? At the back, Lin Hai, who had been silent all this while, suddenly said in a low voice, Saints are saints. Heavenly kings are heavenly kings. There are still some powerhouses in the 3 realms. Fong Ping looked puzzled. Soon he seemed to have thought of something. As expected, Lin Hai said coldly, don't forget that there is still a major force in the 3 realms. Beginner martial artists. The few of them said at the same time. Yu Wei frowned and nodded slightly. That's right. I don't know if all the beginner martial artists have died. Maybe there are still people alive. If they are descendants of beginner martial artists, then it's still okay. If they are real beginner martial artists, as soon as she said that, the few of them changed color. Real beginner martial artists. What was a real beginner martial artist? Martial artists before the origin Tao were real beginner martial artists. These people were older than the 9 emperors and 4 emperors. That was scary. Fong Ping asked curiously, won't they die of old age? They created their own Tao. They are the originators of the Tao. Saint Yu Wei said lightly, among these people, some are strong and some are weak. The strong ones are even comparable to the ultimate powerhouses. They have broken 8 levels of strength. Their flesh is immortal, or their divine consciousness is immortal. No one knows how long their lifespan is. Take you, for example. You have a golden body 9 refinement. You have reached true God level. Normal true gods live for 10,000 years. You may live for 20,000 years. As for them, those who achieve Tao with their flesh mostly achieve Tao with jade bones. If these people did not have external help, how could they die so easily? Were there a lot of beginner martial artists back then? Fong Ping asked again. Yu Wei was not too sure. She looked at Lin Hai. We did not have much contact with beginner martial artists. On the other hand, the 4 emperors had a lot of contact with beginner martial artists. Lin Hai said in a low voice. Beginner martial artists were born in the human world, or rather, the 3 realms. At that time, the 3 realms had not been separated yet. Beginner martial artists were born in this vast mainland. Later, the origin Tao appeared. The struggle for Tao reached its peak and war broke out. From then on, the 3 realms were separated. Powerhouses destroyed heaven and earth, smashing that vast mainland into pieces. That was how the 3 realms came to be. After that, many beginner martial artists chose to settle on a mainland fragment. We call it the beginner martial continent. When I was young, I accompanied some fellow disciples to a few beginner martial continents and met many beginner martial artists. These people, the powerhouses, are comparable to the ultimate powerhouses. The weakest may not even be comparable to true gods. The number is not too much. After all, it is very difficult to walk a Tao alone. However, they have disciples. These people are not considered beginner martial artists. They do not walk the origin Tao. They learn from their ancestors and only walk the beginner martial path. Fong Ping smiled. Beginner martial path. Don't they say that beginner martial artists walk one path each? How do these people follow? Body honing or spiritual consciousness? Lin Hai paused. Actually, it is the embryonic form of the ultimate path. The ultimate emperor walked this path in the beginning. Later, they learned the origin Tao. That is how the ultimate emperor came to be. Then, the descendants of beginner martial artists can also walk the origin Tao? Lin Hai thought about it and nodded. Yes. Of course, back then, they would not let their disciples' descendants walk the origin Tao. Even they gave up on the beginner martial path. How could they fight for the Tao? Doesn't that prove that the beginner martial path is inferior to the origin Tao? The beginner martial continent is extremely repulsed by the origin Tao. The four emperors were actually considered different species, or should I say traitors. They learned the beginner martial path and walked the origin Tao. In the beginner martial continent, they are not recognized and welcomed. Fong Ping shook his head. Who cares what Tao it is? As long as it is useful, it is a good Tao. Why can't these beginner martial artists understand? At that time, the origin Tao was not yet complete and mature. In the early stage of the war, the beginner martial artists still had the upper hand, Lin Hai explained. Therefore, it is not surprising that they do not recognize the origin Tao. Moreover, the origin Tao does have some flaws. If they do not use the origin, they will not be as good as these beginner martial artists. The origin also has some drawbacks. Martial artists who have walked the origin Tao will find it difficult or almost impossible to forge jade bones again. Lin Hai said, the origin will be slightly repulsed. Why do martial artists have to forge their golden bodies at rank 8 golden body to have the greatest effect? It is because they have not stepped into the origin Tao at that time. Once they step into the origin Tao, the origin will reject them. After that, the improvement of the physical body will be limited, and the same goes for the spiritual consciousness. Even if they become stronger, it is difficult to have a qualitative transformation. 9 forged golden body, from rank 8 golden body to emperor, it could be described as 9 forges. Why is there no 10 forges or 11 forges? Lin Hai shook his head. It is because there is no qualitative transformation. All the origin martial artists know this. That is why the supreme venerable emperors can still transform their physical body or spiritual consciousness after stepping into the origin Tao. This is why they are the supreme venerable emperors, while the others are only saints and heavenly kings. Fong Ping finally understood a little this time. After stepping into the origin Tao, it was difficult to improve the golden body. He could feel this too. The origin actually had some exclusivity. After walking the origin Tao, it was very difficult to strengthen the physical body and mentality. Beginner martial artists, or the descendants of beginner martial artists, might be much simpler. You cannot have your cake and eat it too. The 4 emperors, on the other hand, had both. Therefore, there were only 4 heavenly emperors in the past, which was even rarer than emperor. Fong Ping listened for a while and said slowly, in that case, there might be some beginner martial artists who are not dead. Maybe. Lin Hai was also not sure. Fong Ping did not ask anymore. Whether they were dead or not, it had little to do with him now. Dragon Island. The people from Emperor Nan's gate broke through the air and arrived. As soon as they arrived, they quickly roared. Fong Ping wants to destroy the 9 Emperor's gate, and the humans will dominate. Everyone, we must not let him succeed. At this moment, many saints had gathered here. Fong Ping tore the space apart and walked in the air. He looked at the many saints on Dragon Island with a smile on his face full of playfulness. The disciples of Emperor Dong, Emperor Shi, Emperor Nan, Emperor Ling, Beast, and Emperor Shun, 6 emperors had gathered. 6 saints. Yuan Gang was hiding somewhere. At this moment, The six saints were looking at Fong Ping's side with extreme vigilance. On Fong Ping's side, there were not many saint-level powerhouses. At this time, the cat also followed Fong Ping proudly, standing behind Fong Ping and showing off. Although there were six saints opposite them, the cat only looked at Cosmic Dragon, its fat face full of pride. This little dragon still wanted to snatch its fishing rod. "I'll beat you to death." The cat was very arrogant now. It looked at Cosmic Dragon for a while and even stuck out its tongue, waving the fishing rod in its hand. "It's here, you can snatch it." Cosmic Dragon was speechless. This cat, isn't it embarrassed? At least I let Long Xian go there to protect you. And this is how you treat me? At this time, Kai Dai also looked at the cat, her eyes a little complicated. The cat did not notice her at first, but soon it looked around and suddenly saw Kai Dai, its eyes a little dazed. Then the cat suddenly said strangely, "Hey you, I think I know you. You're the one who cleaned my nest?" Kai Dai's expression changed. "Can you not use this word? What do you mean by cleaning the nest? Is that a nest? That's a god's nest." Most people could not clean it, but she was Spirit Emperor's disciple and was not weak. Cleaning the cat's nest was naturally done by disciples like her. Kai Dai did not say much. She said softly, "Cat, long time no see." The cat muttered, glanced at her, then looked at Fong Ping, muttering, "Liar. This nest cleaner? Can I not poke her to death?" Spirit Emperor used to feed me a lot of delicious food. It had forgotten a lot of things, but it had gradually recovered a lot of memories. It still remembered Spirit Emperor. It remembered some, remembered that day. That day Spirit Emperor wanted to touch it for the last time, but he did not, and closed his eyes regretfully. The cat shook its big head, not thinking about it anymore. Thinking about it made it want to cry, so it did not think about it anymore. Kai Dai's expression changed for a while, and Fong Ping smiled. "Since the cat has spoken, Kai Dai Saint, we humans will naturally not be enemies with you." Having said that, Fong Ping looked at them, and then at Sky Sword and the rest who were standing far away. He smiled and said, "Saint Long Yu, Dragon Island is on good terms with us humans. I, Fong Ping, have no intention of being enemies." Long Yu and Kai Dai did not speak. As for whether they were relaxed or vigilant, no one knew. The East Emperor has nothing to do with me. The West Emperor has nothing to do with me. Fong Ping smiled again and said, "The God Emperor is Zhan Tiandi's teacher. The humans are related to Zhan Tiandi. They will not do anything to the God Emperor." Fong Ping then looked at the people from Emperor Nan's sect, saying lightly, "But this person from Emperor Nan's sect occupied the humans' Water Force Divine Island, ordered the forbidden oceanic demons to attack the human sea guardian envoys. Everyone. Do you want to protect him?" At this moment, the people from Emperor Nan's sect said angrily, "Everyone, do you still believe his nonsense? This is a conspiracy. He wants to defeat us one by one. We must not believe him." Having said that, he looked at Sky Sword and the rest, saying loudly, "Sky Sword, don't you know that you are nurturing a tiger when you cooperate with Fong Ping? You will regret it sooner or later." On the other side, Sky Sword and the rest did not speak. Only they knew what they were thinking. Fong Ping smiled and said, "Defeat them one by one? Not to that extent. There are countless powerhouses in the 9 Emperors' 9 bloodlines. Why would I provoke such a disaster for the humans? I am only here to ask for an explanation. You bullied the human sea guardian envoys, not giving us an explanation. Is that acceptable?" The people from Emperor Nan's sect's face darkened, saying in a low voice, "What do you want?" Fong Ping said lightly, "I don't want to do anything, but I am afraid that you will not be able to retaliate. You are a saint if you do not have the ability to retaliate. Won't you be dead?" Fong Ping smiled and said, "How about this? You swear to the heavens. If you do not have the ability to retaliate, you will die. Emperor Nim will also die without a burial place, unable to be resurrected, unable to recover, completely falling in the 3 realms. This is not difficult, right?" Everyone's eyes were strange. How was it possible? Regardless of whether Emperor Nan was dead or not, the people from Emperor Nan's sect would never dare to make such a deadly oath. It was obvious that Fong Ping wanted to make things difficult for the other party. On the opposite side, Emperor Nan's seventh disciple was also livid, saying coldly, Fong Ping, Emperor Nan's bloodline has no enmity with the humans. Do you have to force us into a life-and-death struggles? Beside Fong Ping, Wu Quishan and the others were also a little nervous. Was it appropriate to offend Emperor Nan's bloodline at this time? They could not wait to kill everyone, but the humans were not strong enough to ignore the four sides. These saints probably did not dare to watch Fong Ping kill the other party. Otherwise, it might not be impossible to defeat them one by one. Fong Ping smiled again and said, That's true. Why increase the number of strong enemies for the humans? The other party looked at him and did not speak. What was Fong Ping trying to do by chasing him here? Fong Ping pondered for a moment, then smiled and said, How about this? I am worried about you in the three realms. Go to the Sky Cemetery. It is the place where King Kuan and the others went. There are opportunities there. I will give you a big opportunity. Go. Let's forget about today. Don't go. Fong Ping's eyes were cold and said, Then die. If you don't believe me, you can try. I also want to see who here dares to fight me to the death for you. When these words came out, everyone's eyes were strange. The Sky Cemetery was fake. This was something they all knew. Now that he was banishing the other party to the fake Sky Cemetery, what was Fong Ping trying to do? The people of Emperor Nan's Gate looked around at this time. Someone said lightly, Then go. Qin Yun, maybe there really is an opportunity. They also wanted to see where the fake Sky Cemetery was. Where were those heavenly kings? Were they trapped now? Or did they really have a big opportunity that they could not get out? Fong Ping wanted to banish the other party to the fake Sky Cemetery. Everyone felt that this was an opportunity to see the real situation. Emperor Nan's Gate, Qin Yun, had an ugly expression at this moment. Fong Ping did not say to kill him, but to banish him to the fake Sky Cemetery. Did he want to go? At this moment, the others did not have the same hatred for the enemy. If they refused, Fong Ping would attack again. No one might stop them, because these people all wanted to spy on the real situation. At this moment, Fong Ping sent a voice transmission to the cat. Think of a way to inform Old Zhang and Heavenly King subduing to ambush at the entrance. If this guy goes in, kill him for me. The cat's fat face was bitter. Me? This was very difficult. That was a Heavenly King. The fake Emperor's strength was also very strong now, and he did not have the stone tablet from back then. If he were to inform him, wouldn't he have to fly in the source world for a long time? The cat felt that he was about to die of exhaustion. It was me again. The liar knew how to order the cat around. The cat looked sad. He always felt that the liar was strong, and he was going to be unlucky. If he could not beat the liar in the future, wouldn't he have to help him work every day? Fong Ping did not care about it, smiled and said, How about it? There are really opportunities there. Otherwise, do you think so many heavenly kings would not come out for so long? I'm sending you in because I don't want your revenge to be weak. If you can't even agree to this. Fong Ping's expression was cold. Then you'd better die. Qin Yun's expression changed for a while, and he looked around again. These people now looked a little expectant. The fake Sky Cemetery. Where was it? Was there really an opportunity inside? Why had so many heavenly kings not returned until now? Everyone also looked at Qin Yun. Agree. Otherwise, even if they did not say it, everyone's attitude was very clear. If Fong Ping attacked, they would not help. Qin Yun was a little unwilling, but he had no choice now. After a while, Qin Yun said in a low voice, Okay. Awesome. Fong Ping laughed, a smile appearing on his face. As long as you agree. It's hard for us to kill outside. Why don't we send you in, let Old Zhang and the others help, and save me from having to do it myself. Chapter 1162. Fong Ping wanted to exile Qin Yun. At this moment, Qin Yun agreed. The other people's expressions did not change, but ripples appeared in their hearts. Now that these people had revived, many of them actually hoped to come into contact with those heavenly kings. The 8 kings did not exist alone. The 8 ancient kings were also appointed by the heavenly court. Of course, the 8 kings were very powerful, and they usually didn't have a clear affiliation. However, there were some who tended to lean towards one. For example, King Kun was the son of the earthly sovereign. On the Western Emperor's side, Celestial Pole was also in the fake heavenly grave. Moon Spirit of the North Emperor's bloodline was among them. At this time, everyone actually hoped that the fake heavenly grave could open and allow the heavenly kings to return. Fong Ping scanned his surroundings and sneered inwardly. He was afraid that many of them were planning to barge in or report some information, such as killing him and the like. They couldn't kill him now, but what if they contacted the heavenly kings? Could he not kill Fong Ping? I'll make you cry later. As he spoke, Fong Ping scooped up Big Fat Cat and rode on the bull's back that had no special strength. He laughed and said, "Let's go to the sky's cemetery." Li Wuji groaned in his heart. So heavy. Fong Ping and the old cat had actually controlled themselves, but at this moment, they were still incomparably heavy. As Fong Ping rode on mediocre strength, he rubbed the cat's big head. He was all smiles. Time to sleep. I'll inform old Zhang and the others to come and work. The cat looked innocent as Fong Ping grabbed it. It was very sad. It did not want to sleep now, but the liar looked like he was going to throw it out if it didn't sleep. The cat was very tired of bullying cats. In Emperor Ling Ling's dojo, not long after the aura of the 9 Emperor seal erupted, the heavens and earth shook once again. Another sage had fallen. This time, the crowd was not as shocked as before. However, he still couldn't hide his shock. Could it be that a chaotic battle had broken out in the outside world? Otherwise, how could another saint die in such a short period of time? 2 sages had died consecutively. If not for the 9 Emperor Seal's aura, the heavenly kings would have fled. But now, the 9 Emperor Seal was releasing its chi. This was a treasure, and no one was willing to give it up. They suppressed the palpitation in their hearts and continued to venture deeper. At the very least, they had to wait for the results of the 9 Emperor Seal before they could leave. In the depths of the dimensional battlefield, Zhang Tao was also trying to locate it. He did not know where the 9 Emperor Seals were. Although he had released his chi, it was not easy to find it. At this moment, Zhang Tao's expression changed slightly. He was much stronger than before. At this moment, he felt something different. In the next moment, Zhang Tao's figure appeared on his origin planet. The origin projection was as tall as a god-demon, sitting on the planet. At this moment, the projection surveyed the surroundings. The origin universe was silent. There were no other large planets in the vicinity, only some small planets whose embryonic forms could not be seen. That might be the source world of some rank 9 powerhouses. Zhang Tao watched for a while, but he didn't sense anything. Just as he was about to leave, his eyes flickered. What is that? At this moment, he seemed to have seen something in the dark universe. Soon he could see more clearly. A cat. A cat roaming the dark universe. The ash cat was tired, really tired. Roaming the source was not easy. Not only was it tiring, but it also consumed a lot of energy. Under normal circumstances, it would not roam the source world. But the swindler insisted on it. Thinking of the benefits in the future, the cat could only do hard work for once. However, the ash cat felt that it was about to get lost. The source world was huge. It was about to get dizzy from flying. If it was not for the faint sense that it knew old Zhang's aura, the ash cat would really get lost. In the next moment, the ash cat seemed to have seen something too. He saw that large planet. Excited, the ash cat waved its claws excitedly. He saw it. He finally saw it. He had lost weight. He had really lost a lot of weight this time. The ash cat groaned inwardly. The food he ate last time was almost used up this time. He felt that he needed to eat another big meal. From afar, the ash cat panted and stuck out his tongue. He panted and moved slowly. He called out loudly, "Meow, go to the entrance. The swindler has sent you a saint. Poke him to death. Poke him to death." As soon as he finished speaking, the ash cat's fat body disappeared instantly. He could not stay any longer. He was too tired. As soon as the ash cat left, old Zhang's gaze flickered. He returned to the real world instantly, a little surprised. What did he mean? He had seen the ash cat roaming the origin the last time. Although he was surprised that it was roaming again this time, he was not shocked. Fong Ping, has sent me a saint? Old Zhang was puzzled at first. Then his expression changed. He could not help but curse. What does he mean? He wants me to kill a saint? This bastard. That bastard. Does he know that killing a saint is very difficult? At this juncture, he still wants me to kill a saint. Is he trying to kill me? If I die, does he think he's the master of the house? I've already hidden in Spirit Emperor's dojo, and you still want me to help you clean up the mess. Aren't you embarrassed? Old Zhang's face was full of grief and indignation. He was already forced into the fake heavenly grave by this kid. He thought that he did not need to clean up the mess anymore. This kid would not stop until he squeezed himself dry, right? He still wants to send people here. He cursed inwardly countless times. Although Zhang Tao was helpless, he had no choice but to quickly flee toward the entrance and began to inform Heavenly King Garrison. He alone might not be able to kill a saint easily. Also, how many did this kid Fong Ping send in? The Ash Cat did not say how many. Old Zhang was a little worried. If it was not 8 to 10, then he would be in trouble. If it's 8 to 10, I'll turn around and leave. No, I'll go out and bring that kid Fong Ping in. Old Zhang gritted his teeth. If it's that many, you can carry it yourself? Everyone switch. You can already kill a saint. You should not be weak. If I go out and you stay here, you might be able to kill a few heavenly kings. I have faith in you. At the same time, a storage ring appeared in Fong Ping's hand. Under the gaze of others, Fong Ping played with the storage ring. Imperishable substance, origin chi. Under the circumstances where others could not see, Fong Ping quickly condensed a large amount of origin chi and imperishable substance, including a large amount of energy liquids, life essence. Not only that, there were also divine weapons. True divine weapons. He had gotten some heavenly wood branches from heavenly wood. These days, he had also made a few true divine weapons. This time, he was actually also going to send supplies. Humans were poor. Most of the supplies he brought last time were the imperishable substances given by Fong Ping. After fighting for so long, he was afraid that they had long been exhausted. If there were no gains in the fake heavenly grave, humans could only rely on absorbing void energy to replenish themselves. If this went on, they would not be able to handle high-intensity battles. The divine weapons blocking the door could not be moved easily. Once they were moved, after a few times, they might break the barrier completely. Origin Chi, imperishable substance. Looking at the storage ring that was filled to the brim, Fong Ping pondered in his heart. How should he send it in? Should he enter for a while and connect with old Zhang? However, if he went in once a heavenly king attacked, he might not have the chance to come out. At this moment, if he could not come out, then humans would be in big trouble. I can't go in anymore. Fong Ping glanced at the humans. Wu Quishan and Tian Mu had already broken through to peak. Should he let them go in and take the risk? Next, on the human side, there might not be many battles. At the very least, there would not be many battles in desperate straits. After thinking for a while, Fong Ping transmitted his voice. Old Wu, you and Senior Tian. One of you go in, deliver supplies. It's very dangerous. If you go in, there will be a lot of heavenly kings inside. There will definitely be no chance for you to come out, lest others find a chance to break out. However, now that the people inside have been fighting for so long, I'm afraid they might not have enough supplies. Both of you, who is willing to be the transport soldier? Both of them looked at each other. Wu Quishan quickly transmitted his voice. I'll go. After all, I broke through earlier than old Tian. Responsible for transporting supplies. The responsibility was huge. Fong Ping did not let the gray cat do this because he was worried that the gray cat would mess around and open the passageway again after sending the supplies. This time, it would not be like the last time when no one was watching it. Once it opened, the Sky Crypt project might come to an end. The humans who had finally gained the upper hand might fall to the bottom of the valley in an instant. There were so many heavenly kings, and more than half of them were hostile to humans. The Sky Crypt project still had to continue for a while, and this also required a lot of supplies. I'll go. Tian Mu transmitted his voice. Old Wu still needs to manage the education department. I don't need it. It's good to go in and have a try. It's almost rusting. Fong Ping glanced at both of them and finally looked at Tian Mu. Then Senior Tian will go in. On the human side, I still need Old Wu's help. Minister Zhang and the rest will be waiting behind the passageway. Just be careful, Senior Tian. When the passageway opens, I'll let Senior Tian go in first, then Qin Yun. Having said that, Fong Ping tossed the storage ring to Tian Mu and transmitted his voice. If you encounter an accident, destroy the storage ring. You must not let anyone else get it. There were a lot of resources inside. Origin energy was extremely important. It could also play a supplementary and strengthening role for heavenly kings. Using the origin path to fight would consume origin energy. When the origin energy was used up, the origin path could not be used, and the martial artist's combat strength would drop instantly. It was fine for a short battle, but in a long battle, the speed of recovery could not keep up with the speed of consumption. This was fatal. Fong Ping dared not let these things fall into the hands of the enemy. Tianmu also knew the meaning of this, his expression solemn. Transporting resources. Although old Zhang would be waiting behind, what if there was no one? Accidents were everywhere. If there was an enemy behind, then he would have to judge whether to destroy the storage ring or not. Fong Ping prepared to transport the resources inside. At this moment, among the saints who followed Fong Ping, some were watching coldly from the sidelines, and some were secretly communicating. Sky Sword was communicating with the viceroy of the Divine Court Army. Should we take the opportunity to enter, work with the two-hall Master Sky Plan and Destiny, then look for an opportunity to kill King Wu and that heavenly king suppressing? There were many saints on their side. However, they did not have an advantage in the outside world. Internally, however, they still had people. The two kings of Sky Plant were also the hall masters of the Earth Emperor God dynasty back then. They could be considered to be on the same side. The stern viceroy frowned slightly at this time and transmitted his voice. That's a heavenly king after all. It's very difficult. It's better to contact the other parties now. Later, take the opportunity to kill Fong Ping. Sky Sword's eyes moved slightly, glancing at the six saints. Kai Dai, Long Yu, he did not dare to contact these two. However, the others might not necessarily have no hope. If there were really 4 more saints, and Song Mao could not trap 2 saints now, then their advantage would be great. Killing Fong Ping might not be impossible. The hope was very high. What they were afraid of was that the God Creation Envoy was really there. What they were afraid of now was the God Creation Envoy. Not only the God Creation Envoy, but they were also afraid of the powerhouse with an illusory face who followed Fong Ping. They did not know who this person was, and they always felt that this person was a little strange. If the God Creation Envoy is here, even if the God Creation Envoy is a heavenly king, we might still have the power to fight back. Although the viceroy was afraid, he was not afraid. Fong Ping is a big problem. If we don't take advantage of this time to kill him, once he really proves his Tao, it will be really scary. Previously, both sides had no choice but to compromise. But now, there might not be a need to compromise. Of course, it would be best to find the fake Sky Tomb before making a move. Sky Sword's eyes moved slightly. Fong Ping was a big problem. Everyone knew this. If they still could not understand it at this time, then they would really be stupid. After thinking for a while, Sky Sword's mentality fluctuated. Fong Ping, at this time, Lin Hai suddenly sent a voice transmission. Be careful. Sky Sword and the others might not let this go. You are so strong. Once these people joined forces, Fong Ping did not say anything. In fact, Fong Ping moved earlier than them. At this time, Fong Ping was secretly persuading Kai Dai. Kai Dai Saint, Spirit Emperor, and Song Mao are on good terms, especially doting on each other. Even I have heard of it. Now, Spirit Emperor is dead, but who knows if there will be a time for him to return. Song Mao is in the human race, served with good food and drink. Once the human race is defeated, what do you think will happen to Song Mao? Since our two bloodlines are on good terms, why don't we take this opportunity to join forces? Otherwise, in the future, when Spirit Emperor returns and finds out that you sit and watch Song Mao wander around, how will he look at you? The Sky Sword bloodline is very likely the bloodline of the Earth Emperor. Does the 9 Emperors want to see the bloodline of the Earth Emperor dominate? You know, King Kuan, the resurrected Hongyu, is also a heavenly king. Tianji and Tianming are also going to become heavenly kings. The three divine guardians are also going to become saints. Fang Ping's tone was filled with fear. This is too scary. If the bloodline of the Earth Emperor doesn't join forces to deal with it, then it will be a real disaster. I've always wondered why you guys would sit and watch. Aren't you afraid that the bloodline of the Earth Emperor will dominate and kill all of you? Both sides seemed calm on the surface, but they were secretly colluding. Fang Ping also sent voice transmissions to Long Yu, the East Emperor sect, the West Emperor sect, and the Divine Emperor sect. These powerhouses were also feeling emotional at this moment. Both sides were sending voice transmissions to them, trying to rope them in, wanted to break out later and join forces to kill each other. None of them were good people. Sky Sword and the others exaggerated Fang Ping's threat. Fang Ping said that the bloodline of the Earth Emperor was scary, even guessing that the Earth Emperor might be the mastermind behind the scenes back then, deliberately triggering the war of the 9 emperors and 4 emperors. Otherwise, why would the Earth Emperor's avatar appear back then? Moreover, at this moment, everyone knew a crucial piece of information. Hongyu was alive. According to Fang Ping, Hongyu had already achieved Heavenly King Dao, and both of the Earth Emperor's sons had become Heavenly Kings. The bloodline of the Earth Emperor was really scary. Everyone was aware of this fact. Currently, among the various forces that had appeared, the number of saints under the Earth Emperor sect had exceeded 2 digits. There were even a few Heavenly Kings. As for Emperor level, there were also many, and there were hundreds of true gods. However, Fang Ping's threat was also real. This person was becoming stronger too quickly. At this moment, everyone wished that both sides could kill each other. That would be the best outcome. However, these two sides were not stupid. They were not willing to let others take advantage of them. The few saints did not express their stance. The possibility of a battle was not high. At this moment, the old cat woke up. Big Cat looked resentful, staring at Fang Ping, nodding his big head slightly. It was settled. Fang Ping breathed a sigh of relief and began to instigate the old cat again, sending voice transmissions. Big Cat, contact Kaidai and ask her to stand on our side. If we win this time, it's a success. We can rest for a long time. The old cat was dejected. Again, along the way, in the silence of both sides, everyone spent a long period of time. At this moment, Sky Sword and Fang Ping both felt a little thirsty. After talking for so long, those saints did not express their stance. It was very difficult. Meanwhile, Qin Yun from the South Emperor sect was also a little nervous at this time. It seemed like they were arriving. At this moment, Fang Ping instructed Li Wuji to stop. Although everyone did not notice anything, they knew that they had probably arrived at the fake Sky Grave. Fang Ping stopped and glanced sideways at Sky Sword and the others. Sky Sword was also looking at him. Both sides looked at each other, tacitly understanding. Contacting those saints was a must. None of them were easy to deal with. Who did not want to kill each other? But now, both of them knew. It was difficult. The other saints all wanted them to fight, but they did not want to take the risk themselves. They also had the same mentality. They did not want to let these people take advantage of them. Under the balance of the three parties, the possibility of fighting again was very low. Fang Ping was a little disappointed. This time, the alliance had probably failed. At this moment, Fang Ping looked at Qin Yun and said lightly, "Saint Qin Yun, don't worry. I said it was just to prevent the saints from taking revenge on Li Wuji. And there are opportunities inside. That is for sure. If not, King Wu would not be able to become a heavenly king." Fang Ping said lightly, "As for the danger, there will definitely be some. But where in the 3 realms is not dangerous. Saint Qin Yun, don't you think so?" Qin Yun looked at him. He did not want to go in by himself. It was Fang Ping. No, everyone wanted him to go in. This was an exile. A dignified saint was exiled. Even if there were opportunities, he could not be happy. At this moment, Qin Yun's expression was cold. He did not reply. He glanced at Li Wuji and said after a while, "I've gone in and found water shui. I'd like to ask how someone from the South Emperor's sect became the sea guardian of the human race. Li Wuji's eyes widened, but he did not say anything. Why do you care who I rely on? I have achieved the peak of Tao. The elder ancestor is South Emperor's mount. I am not. Moreover, the elder ancestor does not have a good temper. Li Wuji could not be bothered. If the elder ancestor knew that this guy had occupied his Waterforce Island, even if he was not a saint, he would still settle the score with him. Where is the entrance? At this moment, someone asked. Fong Ping laughed and punched the void. At this moment, the void shattered, and a door appeared. Above the door, there was still a big cat. That day, the door was broken, but now it was restored again. This was the cat's ability. This guy was good at fighting, and his understanding of space was much deeper than Fong Ping and the rest. The cat with the word king on its forehead seemed to be laughing at everyone. Many people looked at the cat. It was rare for the cat to be embarrassed. A smile appeared on its fat face, and it said dryly, "Don't look at me. I didn't draw this. It was already here." The crowd did not expose it. It would be strange if it was not you. Kai Dai and the rest knew the cat very well. At this moment, the viceroy of the Divine Court Army investigated and suddenly said, "The passageway seems to be blocked. No wonder no one has come out until now." Fong Ping, did you do it? Fong Ping laughed. What you're saying is that those heavenly kings don't want everyone to go in and fight for opportunities. However, the cat is familiar with this place and can open the passageway again. Everyone, I have to remind you that if too many people go in, those heavenly kings may attack everyone. At this moment, Qing Mo said lightly, Fong Ping, since it can be opened, why don't we open the passageway completely? Are you afraid of something? Fong Ping chuckled. Scared? What am I afraid of? But this passageway is not something I can control. If you want to go in, go in. It has nothing to do with me. Having said that, Fong Ping looked at Qin Yun. Saint Qin Yun, if there are no doubts, then go in. Qin Yun gave him a deep look. He had a feeling that Fong Ping was up to no good. Was it dangerous inside? However, the humans did not have an advantage inside. At least, as far as he knew, the humans had at most 2 heavenly kings inside. There were many other heavenly kings. Everyone could not wait to see the passageway open. At this moment, they all looked at Qin Yun. Qin Yun was vigilant and said nothing more. This group of people wanted him to explore the way. None of them were good people. Okay, I'll go in. Cat, open the passageway and see if it can succeed. Cat muttered in his heart. What if it could succeed? The thing blocking the way was the heaven-confining bell. Although it was temporarily lent to someone else, it could still be controlled. Opening the passageway was no problem. At this moment, Cat was not careless. He quickly waved his claws and pointed at the void. In the next moment, the void split open. At this moment, Tianmu's speed was lightning fast. Without saying a word, he rushed in directly. Everyone did not stop him. He was just a newly promoted true god. Qin Yun could not wait for him to explore the way and see if there was any danger. After waiting for a while, Fong Ping growled, "Hurry, or the passageway will close." Qin Yun took another deep breath. Looking at the black hole, he had a feeling that it was Hell's passageway. However, at this time, there was no chance for regret. The others were also eager to make a move. Some wanted to go in, but were a little worried. In the next moment, Qin Yun snorted softly and quickly broke through the void and entered. As soon as he entered, a figure was unimaginably fast. The saints did not have time to react before the figure disappeared in the passageway. At this moment, Cat closed the passageway. Everyone was a little shocked. Who broke in just now? Fong Ping's gaze also changed slightly. Something unexpected happened. Was that Hong Yu just now? This was trouble. Old Zhang and the rest ambushed Qin Yun. Would they fight Hong Yu? If they really fought, it would be troublesome. At the same time, as soon as Tian Mu entered, Old Zhang grabbed him and threw him to the back. When he sensed the saint's aura, Old Zhang looked at Heavenly King subduing and heaved a sigh of relief. He quickly transmitted his voice, "It's just a saint. It's okay." Before he finished speaking, Heavenly King's subduing expression changed. Old Zhang also cursed, "Son of a B asterisk tish. You think highly of me, and even gave me a heavenly king." He almost cursed Fong Ping to death. This son of a B asterisk tch was really a scam. Didn't you say it was a saint? Where did the heavenly king powerhouse come in? They were depressed. Hong Yu, who had just broken in, also had a huge change in expression. As calm as he was, he could not help but curse in his heart. Fong Ping was too much of a scam. He could actually contact the people inside and ambush two powerhouses here. Damn it, if he had known, he would not have broken in now. Chapter 1163. Stop for now. Hong Yu roared. But who cared about him? Old Zhang only knew one thing, and that was that no one who came in now is good. In any case, he would not kill the wrong person. The human race had no heavenly king. Kill! Zhang Tao bellowed as a book appeared, trapping Qin Yun within it. At that moment, Qin Yun was in a daze. So many heavenly kings. 3. Where did so many heavenly kings come from? He didn't know any of them. Damn it! Qin Yun cursed angrily. His face was pale, but he quickly recovered. Thankfully, he still had a heavenly king on his side. Otherwise, he would even have the thought of dying. Although they didn't know each other and weren't familiar with each other, it didn't matter. He did not recognize the two heavenly kings lying in ambush. They were probably from the human race. Right now, he was extremely glad that there was another heavenly king outside who had also barged in. Otherwise, he would have died today. Just as he was rejoicing, Hong Yu turned around and slapped him. He shouted, "This is a misunderstanding. I am not an enemy of the human race. This person is the one." He struck Qin Yun's chest with his palm and hurriedly said, "Don't attack." At this moment, Hong Yu was truly frustrated. How could there be any trace of calmness left? At this time, Heavenly King Jin suddenly glanced at him with a slightly strange expression. He suddenly said, "Kid, ignore him. Hurry up, the others are coming. Kill this saint first." Although Zhang Tao didn't understand, killing a heavenly king wasn't an easy task. Since Old Li had said so, he would let it go for now. Therefore, Qin Yun was stunned. He was terrified. 3 heavenly kings. No, it's your grandfather's. Old Zhang knew that the one Fong Ping wanted to send in the saint was this guy. He would kill him first. At this moment, the others had already sensed his and heavenly king subduing attacks. Streams of aura rose and rushed over. Those people thought that these two fellows were going to run away first, so how could they let them leave now? 3 heavenly king stage powerhouses, and the heavenly subduing king was a powerhouse amongst heavenly kings. At this time, he also struck out with his palm, directly striking out a 7-petal black lotus. Break 7. Qin Yun's face was ashen. At that moment, he did not even have the thought of tearing open space. A heavenly king who had broken 7. He was only a sage, and a sage who had yet to recover. Of course, he might not die when he encountered Heavenly King Du Xian, who had broken through to the 6th level. But now that he had met a Heavenly King with a broken 7, he might as well just die. Most importantly, it wasn't even a Heavenly King. Qin Yun smiled bitterly, feeling that he was especially innocent. What's wrong with me? Didn't I just occupy the Water Force Island? Just because of this, the 3 Heavenly Kings wanted to kill him? He couldn't figure it out. Is Wu Qi's backer so powerful? Back then, water power was almost stewed by Tsang Mao and Tengu, but not many heavenly kings stood out. In the end, he couldn't even provoke its descendant. Qin Yun felt very innocent. Old Zhang and the others did not care. Their thoughts were the same as Fong Ping's. Killing ancient martial artists would not go wrong. Even if they were spirit emperors and other emperors, killing them would not be a big deal. Which of these ancient martial art practitioners did not harbor enmity towards the human race? Not to mention those emperors. None of those who wanted to become emperors had good intentions towards the human race. Because as far as they were concerned, the human race was the key to proving the Tao. There was no injustice in killing anyone. The trio's attacks were extremely powerful. Even if Hong Yu stopped attacking and quickly dodged, Qin Yun would not be able to stop them. Of course, there was no way to stop it. There was no way to escape. Qin Yun was still a little indignant. At this moment, he also sensed the Heavenly King's aura in the distance. He suddenly roared, "King Fong Ping, slaying Saint Joshuan of the Emperor's bloodline, slaying Saint Ting of the Emperor's bloodline, strength. Today he will prove his Tao as a true god." As soon as these words came out, the world instantly turned dark. Raging waves. In the distance, King Kuan rapidly tore through the void. At this moment, this Heavenly King's expression changed drastically. He had just become a true divinity and killed 2 sages. He wanted to go out and kill Fong Ping. However, before he could arrive, Hong Yu's expression changed. He suddenly tore open the void and left. Elder Zhang looked at Heavenly King Zhen. Heavenly King Zhen shook his head slightly and shouted, "Hong Yu, where are you going? Hong Kuan wants to kill you. I'll help you." On the other side, Hong Yu, who had torn the space apart, could no longer remain calm. He cursed in his heart. "Is this Li Jin? How could he be so shameless? Why did you mention my name all of a sudden? What bad luck! Why did he have to come in now? Why did he have to meet these people?" He thought that he had come in quietly and no one would notice him. Who knew that there would be people blocking the way outside? Forget it. His identity was mysterious. There were actually not many people who knew him. However, this did not include Heavenly King Zhen. At this moment, King Kuan suddenly stopped rushing in this direction. Instead, he quickly tore open the void and chased after Hong Yu. On the other side, Moon Spirit was stunned for a moment. She screamed shrilly, "Hong Yu? Li Xuanxia. He's Hong Yu?" She did not sense any familiar aura. "It's him." Heavenly King Zhen was eager to see the world in chaos. He shouted, "Hong Kuan wants to kill him. Hong Yu has stolen the earthly sovereign great path and is pretending to be the earthly sovereign. Right now, he's absorbing the earthly sovereign great path. Everyone, what should we do?" "I don't know either." He did not mention killing Hong Yu, lest Moon Spirit went crazy looking for him. However, as soon as he said that, the other heavenly kings suddenly went crazy. What? Earthly sovereign great path? Pretending to be the earthly sovereign? What did he mean? King Qian roared, "Are you serious?" "Of course. Otherwise, why would Hong Kuan fall out with him? Quick, chase after him. These 2 brothers are powerhouses who have broken 8. King Qian and the others' expressions changed. What did he mean? The earthly sovereign's avatar was Hong Yu? Impossible. Impossible. Even though they did not understand and were confused, at this moment, no one cared anymore. Go find Hong Yu. The heavenly kings all chased after him. Who cared about Fong Ping, Qin Yun, Heavenly King Zhen? Hong Yu absorbed the earthly sovereign great path. Forget it, chase after him first. Moon Spirit had already broken through the void and chased after him. Heaven's Fate did not want to go. He wanted to go to Heavenly King Zhen to watch the show, but Moon Spirit kept urging him to help. Heaven's Fate was helpless. He did not want to stay here anymore. He wanted to go out. It was too dangerous here. Everyone was bullying him. However, it was also dangerous outside. King Fong Ping had just proven his Tao and killed a saint. He felt that if he went out, he might be in danger too. There was no safe place in this world. "Father, where are you?" Heaven's Fate was sorrowful. Go after him. If he followed Moon Spirit, he would at least have someone to take care of him. Now, even heavenly kings were having a hard time. They ran. On the other side, Li Zhu also tore through the void. He wanted to say something but stopped, then shook his head helplessly. This was the time to go out together. Break the heaven confinement bell and go out together. Go out and kill Fong Ping. In the end, these fellows were crazy. Li Zhen's words made these people go crazy. No one said anything and left. Li Zhu sighed. Heaven's will could not be disobeyed. Who knew that Hong Yu would come in today? He wanted to curse. Why did Hong Yu come in now? Why did he come in? He came in, but why did he make such a big commotion? Was he afraid that others would not know he came in? Hong Yu, who was being chased, was even more depressed than him. He really did not want to make such a big commotion. Otherwise, he would not have come in when Song Mao let him in. He came in to see his old friend. to sneak a peek. His aura had changed. He could not even tell who he was. How could he have known that Li Jun was so observant and recognized him so quickly? Hong Yu felt like killing himself. The human race, there really wasn't a single good person in the human race. That was not right. Li Jun had stayed with the humans for so many years. He was probably the one who had led the humans to this state. Gone. They were all gone. Qin Yun was stunned. What happened? Go out and kill Fong Ping. A true god killing a saint. How big of a deal is this? Don't you feel threatened? Why are all of you chasing after Hong Yu? Most importantly, how do you know that this fellow is speaking the truth? At this moment, Zhang Tao and Heavenly King Jin's attacks had arrived. Zhang Tao sneered and said disdainfully, "You think you are worthy of causing trouble? When I was playing this trick, you were not even revived yet." He wanted to say that he was not born yet, but on second thought, he was an antique. He could not use that. Qin Yun's plan to cause trouble was easily resolved by Heavenly King Jin. Old Zhang rejoiced. That was Hong Yu? It's all thanks to him. What a coincidence. If not for Hong Yu acting as a shield, Qin Yun's words might have caused the Heavenly Kings to go berserk. They might have forcefully broken the heaven-confining bell and escaped. Now the danger was gone. The Heavenly Kings had escaped. Old Zhang thanked Hong Yu. Heavenly King Jun nodded slightly. Hong Yu had come at the right time. This fellow was practically a free target. Now things were going to get interesting. As the two of them chatted, a 7-petal lotus and a 6-petal lotus brushed past Qin Yun. Qin Yun did not even have a chance to escape. In a daze and despair, he watched helplessly as the lotus engulfed him. His golden body was instantly destroyed and his mentality disappeared. Not only that, even the source world was cut off. Silently and without a sound, Qin Yun disappeared completely. After disappearing for a while, there was a fluctuation between heaven and earth. A great Tao appeared again. It collapsed instantly. Today, the third sage died even faster than the last. Jiushuan's death was considered fast, but Qin Yun perished even faster. He was too unlucky. 2 powerhouses attacked him, but no one could stop them. How could he reason with them? At this moment, Old Zhang and Heavenly King Jun looked at each other. Without a word, they quickly grabbed Tianmu and left. If they did not leave now, what if these fellows came back? At the same time, in a dark place, Warlord looked at Li Jun. After a while, he said, "We were hallucinating, right?" Li Jun nodded solemnly. "Yes, you were right. We were hallucinating. Someone deliberately set Fong Ping up. Despicable. Kill 2 saints? Who would believe that? Who was so black-hearted to set Fong Ping up like that?" As he spoke, Li Jun thought for a while and said, "This person is talking nonsense, but Patriarch Jiang, I've decided to go out alone to hunt venerable emperors. Don't come with me?" Warlord glanced at him. "You said you didn't believe it. Why are you so agitated? Are you going out alone? Are you afraid that you'll embarrass yourself if you go out? I don't want to go with you either." Warlord coughed softly and said, "All right, then we'll go our separate ways. You go to your thing. I want to practice too. After all, Fong Ping has become a paragon. We can't improve too slowly, right?" They only admitted that Fong Ping was a paragon. They would never admit that he had killed a saint. 2. Both of them cursed in their hearts. The saints in the outside world were too useless. But useless was good too. Li Jun said as he walked, "We should be able to kill a saint when we go out. A group of newly awakened saints is definitely not as strong as an emperor." "That's right. Let's go out and kill one with one punch." "It's not difficult," Warlord agreed. "You're right." Both of them were already walking further and further away. Li Jun and Warlord turned around at the same time and suddenly laughed. Li Jun shook his head and said, "King, I now understand why Zhang Tao is a king, but I am not. He's stronger than me. He's also better at judging people. Li Changsheng, whom I'm optimistic about, if it weren't for Fong Ping, he might not even be a rank 8 now. Patriarch Jiang, I'm leaving. I won't kill a saint this time, but I still have to kill an emperor. Otherwise, I'll be too ashamed to go back." Warlord said sheepishly, Go. I'll be too ashamed. One became a heavenly king, the other killed a saint. Even you, the guy who wore diapers in front of me when I was young, achieved emperor earlier than me. I'll go find old Shin and the rest. He left too. Go find Shin Hao Yin and the rest first. Tell them, I'm an emperor and you're the paragons. Isn't it embarrassing? Everyone revived together and cultivated together. How could you be the paragons? It was too embarrassing. Both of them left. This time, they left with the thought of not returning until they killed an emperor. They were happy that Fong Ping was strong, but he was too strong. That sense of loss still filled everyone's mind. They had watched helplessly as Fong Ping surpassed them step by step. Old Zhang was slightly better. He had also become a heavenly king. Fong Ping might not be able to surpass him in a short period of time, but they could not. At this moment, these human powerhouses were excited and filled with infinite desire. I want to become stronger too. The sky turned dark. Pitch black. The blood rain was still pouring. Fong Ping looked at the sky and murmured, "That's strange. Qin Yun died when he entered? Who did such a vicious thing? The saints killed him just like that. Could it be King Kun?" Everyone took a step back. At this moment, everyone's hearts were cold. Qin Yun was dead. It did not take more than 10 seconds. This saint powerhouse died when he entered the fake heavenly grave. The few saints who were prepared to barge in earlier were now terrified. Fortunately, someone had barged in. They dared not continue to enter. Otherwise, they might follow in Qin Yun's footsteps. At this moment, they looked at Fong Ping with vigilance and fear. If this was not arranged by Fong Ping, they would have killed themselves. This guy was so ruthless, so vicious. He was so calculative at such a young age. Where did he learn it from? It was already beyond imagination that he could achieve Tao. All these years, did he still have time to think about those conspiracies? Fong Ping said innocently, "Everyone, it's really a misunderstanding. I didn't expect it to be like this. I know it must be that guy who came later who did it." Fong Ping understood. It's him, Hong Yu. The earthly emperor's bloodline is really ruthless. When he mentioned Hong Yu, a few people in the crowd changed their expressions. At this moment, Kai Dai and the rest suddenly distanced themselves from Sky's sword and the rest. Was it Hong Yu? They did not sense a familiar aura, but the one who came later was obviously a heavenly king powerhouse. This matched what Fong Ping had said earlier. Hong Yu was hiding in the dark. Moreover, he entered with Qin Yun. In an instant, Qin Yun died. While they suspected Fong Ping, they could not help but think that it could also be Hong Yu who did it. After all, Hong Yu was the heavenly king who was most likely to do it. He was following behind. At this moment, even Sky's sword and the rest were uncertain. Did Hong Yu do it? Did they wrongly accuse Fong Ping? As for Fong Ping, he looked innocent and did not feel guilty at all. Speaking of which, Hong Yu had helped him before. However, Fong Ping always felt that this guy was scheming. When Qin Fengqing was with him, he felt that Hong Yu was not that pure. It was fine now. He could blame it on Hong Yu. These people did not know the inside story anyway. Fong Ping sighed. 3 saints have died today. Everyone, do you still want to continue? If we continue to die like this, 3 will die a day. Even if 100 or so saints are all revived, it will only be a month's worth. Tens of thousands of years of accumulation. It's not good to finish fighting in a month, right? Everyone cursed in their hearts. Did he have the cheek to say this? Fong Ping stretched and smiled. If you're not going to fight, then let's disperse. Honestly, why are we fighting to the death now? Will killing me bring you any benefits? There's actually no benefit to me killing you. There's not much use. The Emperor Avenue has not appeared, and the heavenly kings are still holding back. We're fighting hard now. If we all die in the end, who will benefit? Fong Ping advised earnestly. Everyone, it's not easy to live until now. Don't fight and kill all the time. You haven't even recovered your peak combat strength. If you die now, won't it be a loss? Look, 3 died at once. They're still half-baked saints. Their strength hasn't even reached their peak. They died especially fast, Fong Ping sighed. Forget it. Let's disperse. Sky Sword, the rest of you, go and recover. Don't think too much. Also, after Windcloud, Saint, and I disperse, don't think about killing us one by one. It's obviously hopeless. You're not me. You can hide your aura. You can't kill a Saint if you attack alone. When you attack together, you can't hide your aura. You can use a Saint order, but if you're on guard, you can still detect it. I'm saying all this to tell you not to waste time. Everyone, give each other some time. I'll go and prove my Tao as an emperor, and you guys go and recover your strength. Right now, you fight each other. It's not necessary. Fong Ping was like a parent instructing everyone, smiling. Really, don't waste time. Let's wait for those heavenly kings to come out before we talk. Okay. Those who should go into closed-door cultivation, go do it. I won't ambush and assassinate you. Everyone will be fine. Seeing that their faces were dark and they did not speak, Fong Ping smiled. I'm also giving you a chance. Think about it. There are still people who have not recovered. Right now, the other emperor's bloodlines are weak. Is this appropriate? If you kill them, the latecomers will recover and take advantage of it. Will you be happy? If you want to fight, wait until everyone is alive, then fight. Fong Ping lectured Sky's sword and the others as if he was lecturing his son. Don't mess around. Among all the forces, you guys are the most complicated. You guys follow Earthly Sovereign. Do you know what's going on with Earthly Sovereign? Both of their sons have fallen out. Maybe there's an inside story. In the end, you guys will realize that we're actually in the same group. Won't you feel guilty if you die? Sky's sword gave him a deep look. Without another word, he broke through the air and left. When the others saw this, they did not say anything and left one after another. They could not fight anymore. They also felt aggrieved in today's battle, and it was also very inexplicable. First, the God creation envoy's 3 avatars appeared. Then, a saint appeared in the human world, Jiang Hao. Then, Fong Ping proved his Tao. Then, Tiange was killed by him. In short, they also felt that it was really not necessary to continue fighting today. They left. Kai Dai and the others looked at each other. Without saying a word, they broke through the air and left the place. 3 saints died in a day. They were also terrified. Fong Ping was in danger. Sky Sword side was also in danger. At this moment, they needed help. They had to wait for the powerhouses of each bloodline to recover. Now they had to lie low and recover their strength. They could not fight anymore. Seeing this, Taoist Feng Yin also smiled and said, "Then this old man will leave first." As he said that, he suddenly said, "Where's Di Xing? Where's Di Xing?" Deep under the sea, Di Xing and Taoist Ming Ting were currently exhausted from fighting with the Emperor-level monster beast. 2 people and 1 monster looked at each other for a long time. You look at me, I look at you. After an unknown period of time, Ming Ting could not take it anymore and said, "Do you still want to fight? They seem to have forgotten about us. A few saints have died. Do you still want to continue?" "Disperse," Di Xing said, a little sad. The 3 of us Emperor levels were fighting in the depths of the sea. In the end, those guys had all run away. What was there to fight for? Fong Ping had proven his Tao, yet he did not kill this monster beast. It was as if he had forgotten about them. He was about to explode with anger. The whale monster beast also said, "You and I are only following orders. There's no need to continue fighting. If we don't leave now, no matter which side wins, they will remember us. One of us will fall. Both of you." 2 people and 1 monster looked at each other again. Without further ado, they left quickly. Even they were dazzled by today's battle. They thought that Fong Ping was extremely dangerous. Who knew, in the end, Fong Ping had killed a saint. Today, 3 saints had died. If they continued fighting, their deaths would not be worth it. Others would talk about the saints' deaths. They might not even be on the death list. If no one cared about the Emperor level's death, they would really die a wrong death. Heaven and earth were quiet, except for the blood rain that continued. With the death of 3 sages, it was clear that this rain of blood would not end so quickly. A true god died. Li Chongqing killed him. No Emperor level died. On the contrary, the strongest saint had the most deaths today. This was also beyond everyone's expectations. At this moment, Fong Ping, who had bid farewell to Yu Wei and Feng Yun, calmly flew toward the Earth's passageway. He looked indifferent. In reality, Fong Ping was so tired that he wanted to sleep. A total of 10 saints had attacked them. If he had not succeeded in proving his Tao, today might have been humanity's annihilation day. How could it be so easy? He was too tired. He was so tired that he wanted to sleep right now. He was tired. The cat was tired too. Li Chongqing and Wu Quishan were also very tired. None of them could relax. At the passageway entrance, Jiang Hao glanced at Fong Ping. He did not say anything. After watching for a while, he left on his own. Today's battle was beyond everyone's expectations. He didn't expect that things would end up like this. The humans and the catacombs did not lose much. The unlucky ones were Emperor Nan and Emperor Renhuang. Who would have thought that a saint had fallen? Moreover, Hong Yu had entered the fake sky grave. At this moment, Jiang Hao also needed to think about the possible changes that might occur. Fong Ping did not care about him. At this moment, Fong Ping looked at the passageway, a smile on his face. He was back. He was back once again. Every time he left Earth, he did not know if he could return. Just like today, if Feng Yun and the rest had attacked, would he still be able to return alive? Gambling on luck. I've gambled for 3 years. I hope that next time, I can go to war with full confidence and return with full confidence. Fong Ping murmured. He finally had the ability to be independent. Chapter 1164. He won consecutive battles. When Fong Ping returned, the whole world was brightly lit. Everyone was waiting for King Fong Ping to return victorious again. In less than 2 months, the humans had won every battle, annihilating many hostile forces. At this moment, everyone knew the reason for the change in the sky. When powerhouses fell, there would definitely be a change in the sky. On Earth, a rain of blood fell. Obviously, powerhouses had fallen. Everyone was sure that it was the enemy. It could only be the enemy. There were too few human martial artists above the desperate realm. If it was a human, the sky would collapse. Everyone was waiting for the news of victory. They were waiting for the King Ping to return and announce to the world that they had won again. As Fong Ping said, if he did not fall, the humans would not fall. If he fell, most of the people's hearts would disperse. Outside the Magic City catacombs, Skywood's incarnation of an old man came through the flight step. He looked at Fong Ping with a helpless expression and said softly, "I was entangled by a saint. I can't enter the catacombs to help." Fong Ping nodded slightly and smiled. "It's enough for Elder Mu to protect Earth." Skywood was entangled by a catacombs temple master. Both sides confronted each other for a long time. Only when a saint had fallen did that person leave. On this point, Fong Ping did not think it was inappropriate. Without Skywood's deterrence, something big might happen. Skywood staying on Earth saved him a lot of trouble and worries. Skywood saw that he did not say anything and breathed a sigh of relief. At this moment, it was also extremely shocked. 3 saints had died. Obviously, it was not the humans. Fong Ping was actually only a rank 9. After proving his Tao this time, he actually possessed the combat strength of a saint. It was too shocking. Previously, it chose to rely on the humans for this reason. Skywood said no more. Fong Ping looked around. The sky was already dark, but Magic City was still as bright as day. Everyone was waiting. Fong Ping smiled. This was almost becoming a routine. If he did not say a few words today, he was afraid that countless people would not be able to sleep. "We won." 2 short words swept across the place again. This was more beautiful than anything else. Golden Age. Boiling. Countless people cheered. Countless people walked out of their homes. It was like a festival, dancing in joy. The longevity swordsman killed the top demons in the Forbidden Sea and proved his Tao. General of 100 battles, Tian Mu, has made a breakthrough in the midst of battle and has proven his Tao to the peak. He has battled the powerhouses of the catacombs and entered the Martial King realm. Everyone, as support, we will definitely return victorious. Fong Ping's voice reverberated in all directions. The cheers grew louder and louder. Another two humans had reached the peak of Tao validation. In just a short period of time, three powerhouses had proven their Taos, which also encouraged everyone. Fong Ping paused for a moment. Then he said with a smile, "This time, I've also made some achievements. I've killed two ancient saints, King Wu and Heavenly King Jun. Assist us in killing an ancient saint." Invincible! Invincible! Only the word invincible resounded throughout the world. A martial king had proven his Tao to become a heavenly king, and a human king had slain two ancient great sages. The peak strength of the human race could finally be brought out to the public. The stronger Fong Ping and the others were, the stronger humans were, the safer they were. Now everyone knew a lot more. They knew about the situation in the catacombs, the situation in the other grotto heavens and grandmasters. In other places, mortals were like ants. The weak were all ants. The life and death of the strong were in their hands, and the weak did not dare to disobey. Only the human race. Even if they were just ordinary people, they also enjoyed everything that ordinary people could not enjoy. Perhaps it was hard, perhaps it was tiring, but at least they would not fall asleep and have their souls return to hell. There would be no harm if there was no comparison. In the past, some people complained that the treatment of martial artists was too high. Now, no one complained. That was what they deserved. Not only did they deserve it, but they should be given better and higher. Martial artists were the most adorable people in this era. They fought everywhere, pulled the battlefront to the foreign territory, and did not let the enemy take a step into the line of defense. The amount of blood they had sacrificed was unimaginable to ordinary people. Magic City. The people were cheering, seething, and jumping for joy. The lights were flashing, and it was colorful. Fireworks were rising. This was a celebration. Fong Ping floated in the air quietly. Around him, Wu Quishan and the others had already started to take over with the martial artists on Magic City's side, settling down after the war. No one talked to Fong Ping, but no one would ignore him either. One by one, the martial artists looked at Fong Ping, their eyes full of worship. The human king had fought everywhere and won every battle. Great victories came one after another. For the past 100 years, the martial artist's humiliation had been returned by the human king one by one. No one could oppress the human race anymore. In the past, the foreign territory was in turmoil. Now, it was the human race who killed all the way to the restricted area, forcing the foreign territory powerhouses to escape into the inner territory, not daring to invade again. In the past 3 years, the human race's situation was getting better and better. When Fong Ping was cultivating, it coincided with the catacombs' turmoil. The human race was in decline, the Tianan catacombs were broken, and the Magic City catacombs were in chaos at that time. Most of the martial arts powerhouses were very pessimistic. Even if they were not afraid of war, they felt that the human race was going to be defeated and the race would be destroyed. For this reason, the government even proposed a seed conservation plan, ready to let a group of civilization's seeds wander the starry sky at any time. Today, however, no one mentioned it again. 3 years later, even if the situation was still urgent, the human race had killed countless strong enemies. At this moment, everyone was full of confidence. Even if the human race was defeated, the other parties would not have a good time either. All of this was related to the young man in front of them. Fong Ping, who was floating in the air, looked calm, but he could not hide the exhaustion deep in his eyes. The more the human race expected of him, the more pressure he felt. With the recovery of the ancient powerhouses, Fong Ping was already a little powerless. The ultimate qualitative change would only happen once. He had the combat strength of a saint, but it was too difficult to advance further. How would he deal with those heavenly kings? Or even the revived emperors? The human race is still not strong enough, Fong Ping muttered in his heart. He knew that the human race was not strong enough now. It was only the individual who was strong. In terms of overall strength, they were still lagging behind a lot. Desperate Realm. 2 were born this time. It seemed like a lot, but Fong Ping still felt that it was too little. The core strength of Emperor level was also seriously lacking. Fong Ping, who was thinking about this, suddenly felt that he seemed to have forgotten something. The next moment, Fong Ping suddenly looked at the cat. On the other side, the cat was exhausted, dozing off, nodding its fat head as if it wanted to sleep. At this moment, Fong Ping looked at it. The cat sensed it, lifting its head, looking at Fong Ping innocently. What was it again? The man and the cat looked at each other. After a while, Fong Ping's face twisted. Big cat, did you forget something? The cat looked at him blankly, nodding quickly. I did forget something. Did the old man who took my Sky Destroyer's sword bring back the fish he killed? Fong Ping's expression was ferocious. Think again. The cat looked innocent. What else was there? Where's Fong Yuan? Fong Ping gritted his teeth. Where did you put Fong Yuan? At this moment, the world was quiet. The cat blinked. Yes, where was little chubby face? Little chubby face. Did he eat him when he was about to run? He seemed to have eaten him. The cat remembered. The next moment, the cat opened its mouth wide and spat. After a while, Fong Yuan appeared on the spot with an innocent look on her face. When she saw Fong Ping, she immediately felt wronged. She said with a long face, "Brother, big cat is so disgusting. It ate me. It's fine if it ate me, but it also stuffed me into a garbage dump. There's garbage everywhere." The cat's face was full of indignation. It muttered, "Who said it was a garbage dump? It's a storage cabinet, okay? It's filled with delicious food." Fong Yuan said in grief and indignation, "Storage cabinet? There's canned fish everywhere. They're all barbecued. It's so smelly." Seeing that she was fine, Fong Ping did not care about her complaints. He looked at the cat and said with some surprise, "Where did you put him?" He was also a powerhouse. He could also swallow people and trap them in his body. However, according to Fong Yuan, the cat seemed to have stuffed her into the storage space. Could a storage space store living people? The cat muttered. He stuffed her into his stomach. You can store living people in your storage space? That's not a storage space, the cat said innocently. That's my warehouse. It's used to store food. Let's not talk about that. How can you store living people? Oh, the cat said casually. Maybe it has something to do with my cat world. My warehouse is actually connected to my cat world. Maybe I sprinkled some origin soil in, and the warehouse can store living people. A little origin soil? Fong Ping looked at Fong Yuan. How big is that place? Fong Yuan said hurriedly, as big as a football field. It's all food, piled up in a mess. Brother, don't be fooled by Big Cat's clean appearance. He's actually very messy. A lot of food has been unsealed, but he just threw it on the ground. There's also a lot of cooked food, but he threw it back after eating half of it. The cat muttered, "It doesn't taste good. If it doesn't taste good, he just threw it back. If there's no more food in the future, he can eat it again." Fong Ping laughed. You really know how to save food. The key was, where did this cat get so much origin soil from? A warehouse the size of a football field? It was too big. Fong Ping himself had used origin soil and conjured a piece of real land in the source world. It was very, very small, probably about the size of a table. This was already considered quite a lot. How could the cat be so big thinking of this? Fong Ping suddenly said, "Your cat world also has origin soils?" The cat said matter-of-factly, "Yes. The cat world is paved with origin soil." Fong Ping was speechless. Not far away, Tian Mu's old face twitched. He felt that it was time for him to leave. If he stayed any longer, his heart would explode. "Then why don't you store food in the cat world?" The cat looked at him like he was an idiot. "Then why don't you sleep in the supermarket? A place to eat is a place to eat, and a place to sleep is a place to sleep. If it smells bad, how can I stay in the cat world?" Fong Ping was speechless. Fortunately, Fong Yuan was fine. Fong Ping could not be bothered to say anything more. He waved his hand and said, "You guys go home first." He still had something to do and had to go out. The cat did not care. After the fight, he was tired and wanted to go back to sleep. Star Town. Small world. The God Creation Envoy was still reading. In front, the void fluctuated. The God Creation Envoy did not even raise his head and said lightly, "I told you not to betray me, but you still betrayed me. Who asked you to tell the cat that I'm back?" Fong Ping smiled and said, "I didn't say it." Someone else recognized me. Senior God Creation Envoy is indeed remarkable. At that time, his avatar had already dispersed, but he still knew what happened later. The God Creation Envoy yawned and said indifferently, "Who said that there can only be 3 avatars? I'll leave one to watch the show. Why can't I? As long as Senior is happy." Fong Ping looked at him and bowed slightly. "Thank you for your help this time, Senior. If it weren't for the help of Senior's avatar, I'm afraid Fong Ping would have completely fallen this time." Fong Ping actually did not expect that the other party would have so many saints. He thought that 4 or 5 would be good enough, but in the end, there were 10. If not for the power of the God Crafting Envoy, the 3 clones would have entangled the 3 saints. He would have been finished from the start. "It's just a transaction," the God Creation Envoy said indifferently. "When you obtain the 9 Emperor Seal in the future, don't forget what you promised this old man." "Of course not." Fong Ping smiled. "Senior, I heard that you're a grandmaster in weaponsmithing. Wrong?" The God Forging Envoy did not even raise his head as he snorted. "Grandmaster? A grandmaster isn't even fit to carry my shoes. This old man is a God-rank blacksmith." Obviously, he felt that Fong Ping had underestimated him. Fong Ping laughed dryly. After thinking for a while, he said, "Senior, I have something to ask you. I don't know." The God Creation Envoy was not interested in paying attention to him. Seeing this, Fong Ping thought for a while and said, "Then forget it. The Ash Cat said that it misses Senior. I'll ask the Ash Cat to visit Senior more often in the future." "Stop." The God Creation Envoy raised his head. The old man's expression was ugly, although he felt that the Ash Cat was rather cute. But this cat sometimes gave people headaches. It was fine in the past, but now this cat had lost everything. If he were to find himself, he would have to wait for his head to explode. The pot was gone, the fishing rod was broken, the divine mirror was broken, the heaven confining bell was gone, the sky bell was gone, the current Ash Cat was poor and white. If it saw him, it would not leave. "If you dare to let the Ash Cat come here, this old man will kill you right now." Fong Ping was full of smiles. "Speak properly." Finally, there was something to check and balance this old man. In space, Fong Ping and the God Creation Envoy sat opposite each other. Fong Ping said, "What's the situation with the earthly emperor's bloodline?" The God Creation Envoy drank his tea, crossed his legs, and said lazily, "How would this old man know? I've been trapped for 8,000 years. Senior, the Ash Cat really misses Senior." The God Creation Envoy's expression was unfriendly. He snorted and pondered for a moment before saying, "This old man doesn't know the specifics. I only know that 8,000 years ago, when the divine sect first appeared, it was established by the 2 sons of the earthly emperor. After that, there seemed to be internal strife, and Hong Yu brought some people out to be independent. After that, the earthly emperor's avatar appeared. At that time, this old man did not notice anything wrong, but later, the God Creation Envoy hesitated for a moment before saying, Hong Kuan did not recognize the earthly emperor's avatar. No one in the outside world knew that Hong Kuan was still alive at that time, but Li Xuanxia still knew. This was his father. How could a son not recognize the emperor as his father? At that time, there were some doubts, but the emperor's prestige was too strong, and no one dared to mention it. Moreover, most people did not know the situation. Fong Ping thought for a moment and interrupted. "It's not a problem if King Kuan doesn't approve of it. Actually, I'm more curious. Why didn't Moon Spirit have any contact with the earthly Emperor God dynasty at that time, and didn't look for her father-in-law, Moon Spirit?" The God Creation Envoy thought for a moment and said, "Maybe she knows something. You have to know that when the heavenly realm was shattered, the Northern Emperor Blade came through the void and found Moon Spirit. The earthly Emperor's sword was given to her by Hong Yu, and this was the earthly Emperor's sword. If the earthly Emperor really returned, the earthly Emperor's sword should have reacted. Maybe it was because of the earthly Emperor's sword that Moon Spirit felt that there was a problem. Other than Moon Spirit herself, I'm afraid no one else knows." After saying that, the God Creation Envoy said impatiently, "Do you want to speak or should I?" "Continue listening. Don't interrupt if you have nothing to say. The earthly emperor's avatar appeared and established the earthly emperor god dynasty. The emperor's prestige was still there, and no one in the three realms dared to resist. This situation lasted for thousands of years, but in the later stages, some problems appeared. The god creation envoy recalled for a moment. He had never gone out in the past few years, and many things were told to him by the heavenly king. At this moment, the old man recalled for a while and said slowly, "In the years since the earthly emperor's avatar appeared, Hongyu seemed to have completely disappeared." At first, those who knew didn't think too much about it, but later on, they realized that the divine sect and the earthly emperor god dynasty seemed to be fighting openly and secretly. This time there was a big problem. No matter how much the earthly emperor doted on his son, he wouldn't be unable to control his son. Where did Hong Kun get the courage to go against the earthly emperor? The two sides had even started a war in the dark. Of course, no one knew about it. Later on, the divine sect took the initiative to expose the secret. The earthly emperor was fake, not the earthly emperor. This time, the three realms was a little chaotic. Of course, at first, no one dared to believe it. The earthly emperor's flaw was also related to Hong Kun. He had secretly made a move, and in fact, a short battle had broken out in the divine court of the earthly emperor god dynasty. His target was the earthly emperor's avatar. At this time, some of the powerhouses in the three realms realized that something was wrong. Tengu and the others all sensed that something was wrong. Then, there was the matter of Tengu provoking the earthly emperor. This time it was also a fuse. Everyone saw the earthly emperor's weakness, and it might be fake, deceiving the three realms for 3,000 years. When Fong Ping heard this, he said in disbelief, "In that case, the avatar might be fake too. Is it Hong Yu in disguise?" "That's possible. Are the powerhouses of the three realms fools? Can't you see that?" The god creation envoy said unhappily, "Nonsense. Do you dare to investigate the emperor? He is full of the emperor's aura. Who would eat a bear's heart and leopard's guts to investigate the emperor and scrupulously? Of course, they can hide it from everyone. Then the avatar or the demon emperor is Hong Yu. It's hard to say," the god creation envoy muttered. "It might not be a fake avatar. It might be the real earthly emperor's projection. It's just that it might be controlled by Hong Yu. Then why did he establish the demon emperor god dynasty? Idiot." The god creation envoy said disdainfully, "Is it hard to understand the emperor gathering Tao? If you can become the human king, he can become the king of the three realms. The three realms respect this person. Of course, it's also difficult. After all, he is acting as the earthly emperor. If he uses his own identity, Hong Yu's identity, to become the king of the three realms, he might really succeed." The god creation envoy thought for a moment, then added, "When the earthly emperor god dynasty was still around, it was actually very popular. Hong Yu is also a genius. Those 3,000 years should be the most peaceful period in the past 8,000 years. If this continues, in another few thousand years, Hong Yu will gradually replace the earthly emperor's position. In the end, he will make the earthly emperor abdicate, and he might really succeed." Unfortunately, he was exposed by Hong Kun later on, and the earthly emperor god dynasty was besieged by all sides. After saying that, the god creation envoy said indifferently, "That time, it was not like what you heard. Only the overseas immortal islands and the heavens beyond heaven took action. If that was the case, the earthly emperor god dynasty could easily annihilate these guys. That time, there were many people who took action. Li Xuanxie, Hong Kun, the Sea Guardian, the Palm Seal envoy, a few heavenly kings. They all secretly took action and suppressed the earthly emperor god dynasty, which led to their defeat." Fong Ping nodded. He could actually see some of it. The earthly emperor god dynasty was very powerful. The Hall Masters were all saint-rank powerhouses, and the two kings were only Hall Masters back then. Now, they were already close to becoming heavenly kings. If only the emperor-rank powerhouses had taken action, how could they have caused such a huge divine court to collapse? Han Yu died later on? Fong Ping asked again. The god creation envoy nodded and said, he should be dead. That's why we said that he might be the earthly emperor's avatar. Because that time, the earthly emperor's avatar was killed. Of course, at that time, I wasn't sure if the earthly emperor's avatar was Hong Yu, but the god creation envoy recalled for a while before saying, but that day, 2 heavenly king powerhouses fell, and it doesn't match. King Li was killed by the avatar back then, and the others also killed the earthly emperor's avatar. Logically speaking, the death of the avatar should not have any abnormalities. No one had ever seen a change when the avatar died. Of course, the emperor might be special. In addition, when the heavenly king died in battle, there was a huge commotion. The death of the avatar also covered up some abnormalities. But this old man and Li Xuanxia felt that something was wrong. That was clearly the commotion caused by the fall of the 2 heavenly kings. Fong Ping's eyes moved slightly. That's why Hong Yu was killed that time, and now, Hong Yu has been resurrected. Hong Yu, if you say that the guy who barged in later, something might be wrong. It might be Hong Yu, but it might not be. The god creation envoy continued. But he should have been taking the initiative to prepare for his resurrection. The god creation envoy looked at Fong Ping and said, Tianji and Tianming, these 2 fellows, might be his backup. Back then, these 2 fellows left the Earth Emperor Divine Court as soon as the avatar fell. These 2 fellows were saints at that time, but they did not fight much and quickly left with their people. After that, the war between the North and the South broke out, and a large number of powerhouses died. All of this might be to prepare for Hong Yu's resurrection. The god creation envoy knew a lot, and most of it was told to him by Heavenly King Zhen. At this moment, Fong Ping also connected many things. First, the heavenly king standing behind the sky beyond heaven should be King Li, one of the 8 kings. In the end, he died in battle that time. Second, the earthly emperor's avatar was most likely Hong Yu in disguise. He wanted to become the king of the 3 realms and become an emperor. He almost succeeded. Third, the divine sect was not the only one who caused trouble in the dark during the war between the North and the South. The 2 kings were also the initiators. Fourth, the 2 kings might know Hong Yu's identity. Otherwise, they would not be on bad terms with King Kuan. When they met King Kuan previously, they were quite cold. Fong Ping still did not know that when the 2 kings had just revived, they had mentioned rebuilding the heavenly court. If he knew, he might have some ideas. The 2 kings knew that there were heavenly kings in the 3 realms, but at that time, they were full of confidence to rebuild the heavenly court. Who gave them the confidence? Was it because they could fight a heavenly king together? Or they knew that someone was coming back? This time, was the resurrection of Sky's sword, and the others also because of Hong Yu? But if that was the case, why did Hong Yu not attack him? If he attacked personally, with the combat strength of a heavenly king, Fong Ping would not be a match for him no matter what. After knowing a lot of things and solving a series of mysteries, Fong Ping had a lot more doubts. Did Hong Yu and Hong Kuan fall out because of this? Fong Ping fell into deep thought. He had to pay attention to the bloodline of the earthly emperor. This bloodline was too powerful. The more he knew, the easier it would be to face it in the future. At this moment, the god creation envoy suddenly said, that guy, the earthly emperor, maybe he really is not dead. Of course, maybe the one who really died is this guy. The god creation envoy muttered, he knows a lot of things and is involved in too many things. In my opinion, most of the 9 emperors are either not dead, or they're almost dead. If they are dead, the earthly emperor might be among them. Fong Ping's expression changed slightly. This news was quite important. If that was the case, the inside story of the Heavenly Realm battle back then would be even more complicated. The earthly emperor who had been jumping the most obviously, might be the only emperor to die. This news made countless thoughts rise in Fong Ping's mind. The Heavenly Realm battle was the most confusing battle in tens of thousands of years. The 9 emperors and 4 emperors were all gone. It could be said that that battle had completely changed the entire 3 realms. And now, Fong Ping had also begun to gradually come into contact with this battle, with the 9 emperors and 4 emperors. Fong Ping exhaled lightly. The future world was even more magnificent. He could even predict how the 3 realms would be shaken when the emperor and the extreme Tao Heavenly Emperor returned. Chapter 1165. After asking about the Earth Emperor God dynasty for a while, Fong Ping quickly took out 2 saint tokens. The God Creation Envoy looked at Fong Ping and raised his eyebrows slightly. "What are you doing?" Fong Ping smiled. "I've studied these 2 saint tokens. They should be in the same series. Other than the different words on the big seal, the rest are exactly the same. It feels like a copy. If you have something to say, just say it." Fong Ping thought for a while and said, "I feel that this saint token should be able to be fused. I wonder if the God Creation Envoy can help me fuse these 2 big seals?" Fuse. The God Creation Envoy frowned and did not take the saint token. After a while, he said, "There's no need to fuse. Forcefully fusing might destroy the saint token. The 9 Emperor seals, 8 Heavenly King seals, 36 saint tokens, a total of 45 seals can be combined to form a new divine weapon. This kind of divine weapon is extremely troublesome to construct. This is also the only time in this old man's life that I feel that the divine weapon created by the 9 emperors is not bad." The God Creation Envoy was very proud, but this time he had a little more approval. He explained, the 9 Emperor seal was mainly created by the 9 emperors, but the 4 emperors had also participated. It can be said that this divine weapon is a crystallization of the powerhouses of the 3 realms. There are also some special functions that I don't know much about. However, I know one thing. The materials used to create the 9 Emperor seal are not simple. Many things are treasures that have already disappeared. For example, some things in the source world. Origin Earth? Fong Ping said. The God Creation Envoy shook his head slightly and said, "Yes, but not only this. The 9 Emperor seal is a symbol and also a supreme divine weapon. It represents the Heavenly Court's orthodox rule over the 3 realms. At the same time, it is also a kind of recognition of the origin Tao. The Heavenly Court walks on the origin Tao and is also the orthodox proof of the origin Tao's inheritance for countless years. This thing, if it's separated, its use is actually limited. It's not even as powerful as some divine weapons. However, if anyone can gather all 45 seals, it will definitely be of great use. Even I am not sure about this." 45, Fong Ping sighed. There were too many, and some of the saint tokens had been lost. It was impossible for the 36 sages of the past to all be alive. Some of their sage badges had already been lost. The 3 realms was so big. Where could they find them? Fong Ping thought of this and suddenly said, "If the saint token is lost in the Sanjiao Gate, can it still be found?" "Sure." The God Creation Envoy laughed. "What do you think the world behind the Sanjiao Gate is?" Fong Ping fell into deep thought. Very quickly, he raised his eyebrows and asked, "Source world? Not bad." The God Forging Envoy nodded. "It is the source world. Strictly speaking, the Sanjiao Gate was the gate of the Great Tao. But where was the Great Tao? In the origin universe. Therefore, the Sanjiao Gate leads to some origin stars. The things you lost in the Sanjiao Gate can be found in the origin universe, provided that you can find them in the vast universe." This time, the God Creation Envoy said a few more words. A person's origin star can be moved. In other words, where you are is where your origin is. If 2 experts are very close to each other, then their origin stars won't be too far from each other. The God Creation Envoy said, "Of course, this is not far away. It is relatively speaking. For example, you and I, now that we are together, our origin stars are also the closest to each other. However, if you want to find my origin star in the origin world, then you may have to spend a lot of time. However, the stronger you are, the more obvious your senses will be. If you reach the Heavenly King stage, maybe you can also sense the location of this old man's origin star." The God Creation Envoy came to talk and said with a smile, Do you know that the origin universe is actually divided into levels? What do you mean? Just like how we divide space into 9 heavens, the essence universe is pretty much the same. The reason why Tao corroborating heavenly kings are able to sense their essence stars is because it's a process of transition. Their essence stars rise to a higher level. Fong Ping did not know much about the origin universe, or rather, he knew almost nothing about it. At this moment, he was also interested. This was the secret of the origin Tao, or rather a world that only powerhouses were qualified to understand. Even a rank 9 could not sense it too clearly. Fong Ping was like a student, asking, "Senior, is the origin world an illusion or a real existence?" When I materialized the Sanjiao Gate at rank 6, I felt that the Sanjiao Gate seemed to appear in another world. If it was an illusion, then wouldn't this Sanjiao Gate be fake? If it was real, then would there be life in the origin world? Real or illusion? The God Creation Envoy laughed and said, "It's hard to explain thoroughly. You can treat it as a desolate universe. It really exists. You can also treat it as an illusion because the people of the origin universe can't enter it. What enters is only the will. This is a world where the will exists. Or in your words now, this is more similar to an online game. Your will can control it, but your body can't enter it." Fong Ping understood and said, "I understand a little. If the martial artist dies, will their origin universe be destroyed? Also, rank 9 can only come into contact with the origin, but rank 7 can open the Sanjiao Gate. Does rank 7 also have the origin world?" Sanjiao Gate, the God Creation Envoy suddenly laughed and said, "Actually, when you cultivate the Sanjiao Gate, it means that you've taken the origin Tao. True beginner martial artists, or their lineage's direct descendants, don't have the Sanjiao Gate. The Sanjiao Gate is only an exclusive product of the origin Tao. You have to know that the Sanjiao Gate doesn't exist naturally, but was created by the late-stage 9 emperors. Actually, it can also be considered a type of divine weapon. If you don't take the origin Tao, where can you find the Sanjiao Gate?" Fong Ping frowned and said, "That means that beginner martial artists don't have the origin stars either." "Of course," the God Creation Envoy said, "after a martial artist dies, his origin world won't disappear completely, but it will be destroyed. Of course, if you completely shatter his origin world, then it will disappear. But even if it disappears, the things that you have in the Sanjiao Gate, unless they're destroyed, can also be found in the origin world." When the God Creation Envoy said this, he suddenly laughed and said, "Actually, you can try moving your origin stars and wandering around the origin universe. Maybe if you're lucky, you can pick up something. It's very difficult, like looking for a needle in a haystack. Tell me, in a universe, how difficult is it to pick up the treasures left behind by the predecessors?" As he said that, he added again, "Many of the Ash Cat's divine weapons were actually picked up in the origin world. This fellow can roam the origin world. When the war broke out that year, the origin world was in turmoil. Some people died in battle or died. Their weapons were broken and scattered in the origin universe. At that time, the Ash Cat was nearby. In this way, if it roamed the origin, it could pick up some things. We can't roam the origin. We can only move according to our own origin stars." "What kind of creature is the Ash Cat?" Fong Ping asked doubtfully. "Why can it roam the origin?" The God Creation Envoy was silent for a moment, shook his head and said, "I'm not too sure and there's no need to be very clear. Of course, you might have some judgments yourself, but these are up to you." Fong Ping did not ask any more this time. The God Creation Envoy said that the origin universe was still of some help to him. At the very least, he knew that after a martial artist died, the things in the Sanjiao Gate might be picked up in the origin world. In that case, if some of the saints who died back then were lost, there was still a chance to find them. Last time, Old Wang and the others said that they were killed by King Kuan's people. Those guys wanted the divine weapons, but they were still ruthless. They said that even if they lost the divine weapons, they could still find them after paying a price. In that case, they should also be searching through the origin universe. When a person died, the origin of nirvana would generally not move. It would always be there. At this time, Fong Ping did not ask any more and prepared to leave. He got up and walked a few steps. Fong Ping suddenly turned around and said, "May I ask, what is Senior's purpose?" Senior has been trapped here for 8,000 years. His strength is so powerful, and his avatar is a saint, but he has never left the mountain. Why exactly? Me? The God Creation Envoy laughed. I'm just a blacksmith. It's the same no matter where I study. Do I have to go out to forge iron? Why do you have to ask so carefully? In this world, everyone has their own selfish motives. Do you have to make it public for it to be considered correct? You, Fong Ping, don't have selfish motives? Don't you have your own secrets? If I asked you, would you tell me? Fong Ping smiled and nodded. That's true. I was presumptuous. Senior, rest well. I'll leave first. The God Creation Envoy looked at him for a while until he was about to leave. He smiled faintly. Does Unquestionable Sword not care? Let him be, Fong Ping said without turning his head. He wants to become a king. I actually won't reject him. If I really die, old Zhang will also die. I'm afraid the human race will come to an end. At this time, a heavenly king will stand up. Maybe he can still have some guts. Fong Ping left. The God Creation Envoy stared in the direction he left and suddenly laughed. Did you hear that? In my opinion, although this kid is young, he is definitely more courageous than you. If he is alive, he is not afraid that you will snatch the position of the human king. If he dies, you might be more miserable. If Fong Ping died, the human race needed another powerhouse to stand up. The powerhouse who stood up at this moment might not be so comfortable. Endure humiliation? Be a dog? The human king was no longer an honor. Perhaps it was also a kind of humiliation. At this moment, the space fluctuated slightly. Zhang Hao appeared with a complicated expression. Fong Ping did not care about his existence at all. He did not take the battle for the human king seriously. Confident, ostentatious, as arrogant as ever. He knew Zhang Hao's identity, but he did not care too much. The premise was that Zhang Hao was harmless to humans. Zhang Hao was silent. After a long time, he suddenly said, "That person back then, was it Hong Yu? How would I know? Even Heavenly King Jin doesn't know. If he knows, would he tell me?" The God Creation Envoy sneered. "If he finds a woman, does he want to share it with me?" Zhang Hao was speechless and turned to leave. The God Creation Envoy smiled faintly. "Have you thought about resurrecting your Tao companion?" Zhang Hao's movements were slightly sluggish. After a while, he said, "Ask Unquestionable Sword, I don't know." Hee. The God Creation Envoy snorted and ignored him. He yawned and said, "Deceive yourself. If you really have the guts, give up your previous life. If you don't give up in this life, the next life, and the next life, you will always be Unquestionable Sword. What are you thinking? Do you really think that you are a new human after reincarnating your spiritual consciousness?" Zhang Hao's footsteps paused. "Your mouth is as annoying as the heavenly King Jin Wang. No wonder you guys can still chat happily after 8,000 years. The God Creation Envoy said lazily, "The truth is always disgusting." All right, I haven't heard from the chaotic heavenly king for a long time. Where did he die? I don't know. Who are you trying to fool? The God Creation Envoy sneered. Although I don't go out, I know everything about the three realms. That guy disappeared after the establishment of the Earth Emperor Divine Dynasty. Was he suppressed by Hong Yu? Or did he run to the heavenly tomb? Why are you asking him? Just to watch the show? The God Creation Envoy was almost asleep. He yawned and said weakly, "That's also a master who isn't afraid of anything. Without him, it wouldn't be lively enough." With him around, the three realms had been in chaos for 1,000 to 2,000 years, and there was a big show to watch every day. Now that he was gone, there was suddenly no good show to watch. The current heavenly kings were all gloomy and dull. This old man would like to see what would happen if he met Fong Ping and Zhang Tao. Two shameless people met an unreasonable heavenly king. Both of them had the temperament to start a fight at the slightest disagreement. Would they fight until their brains broke? Don't say. If Tengu joins in, he will really beat his brains out. Zhang Hao was speechless. Did he have nothing to do? It was already chaotic enough at this time, and he still wanted to add to it. This guy was really not a good person. Zhang Hao could not be bothered with him and left. After he left, the God Creation envoy laughed and wrote and drew on the paper. It's getting more and more interesting. Fight, fight. It's best if you beat your brains out. This 3 realms is a mess. It's good to clean it up. The God Creation envoy murmured, then continued to pick up the comic book to read. This was still interesting. Magic City. Mukmao. There were many wounded. In the 6th Southern Regions War, the MCMU army fought against more than 3 times the number of enemies in the 6 Southern Regions, and there were many casualties. Even so, MCMU did not have any pessimism. They were all in high spirits. Many of them had died in battle, but more had died in the catacombs. In the end, they even forced the catacombs coalition forces to retreat behind Mount Imperial Sea. This was the first time a large army had completely driven away a territory's powerhouse. The goal was not to kill the opponent's powerhouse, but to defeat a territory in a large-scale battle. Ji Yao and the others had no choice but to retreat. If not for the fact that both sides had retreated in the end, perhaps this time humans would have officially invaded the restricted area and fought in the restricted area. Walking in MCMU's southern area, he looked at his former classmates and teachers. At this moment, they were all carrying a strong, murderous aura, more like the army than the students. Fong Ping was also filled with emotion. Back then, martial arts universities were established with the goal of cultivating martial artists to fight in the catacombs. However, at that time it was still a little milder, and they were all small-scale individual battles. Now, these people had participated in many large-scale army battles, and there were countless casualties. In the past 1 or 2 years, there were really a lot of MCMAU instructors and students participating in battles. Everyone had undergone a transformation. Walking on the campus road, Fong Ping saw many wounded walking, and he was also thoughtful. Participating in battles too often might not be a good thing. Everyone did not have time to settle things. Many people's injuries had accumulated. It seemed like it was not a big deal, but it might be troublesome in the future. Moreover, many people had encountered bottlenecks now, and they needed some independent training. After walking for a while, Fong Ping walked to the school building in the old area. Here, there were fewer and fewer people living now. Some old people had died in battle, and some old people were now running around, fighting in various places. Since MCMU was founded, there were really not many of the older generation left. Old man Li was still living here. Fong Ping rarely came here, but he was also familiar with the way. The small courtyard. It was unusually quiet. Li Changsheng, who had just broken through to Paragon, did not cause too much of a stir because Fong Ping was around. He was originally the first person in rank 9. Although his advancement to Paragon this time was very fast, Fong Ping had killed a saint first, so old man Li did not receive too much attention. In the small courtyard, some green bamboos were planted. The old house already had some paint peeling, looking a little shabby. At this moment, old man Li was drinking tea in the courtyard. When he saw Fong Ping, before he said anything, Fong Ping smiled and said, "Old Li, didn't you say goodbye? It's only been a few days, and you're already back happily. Isn't your goodbye too cheap?" Old man Li wanted to say a few more words, but at this moment, his expression was ugly. He let out a humph, too lazy to reply. "If it wasn't for you, kid, who ran into trouble, would I come back so quickly?" This kid, there was nothing good to say. Fong Ping laughed, sat down on the stone bench, minding his own business and pouring a cup of tea. It's late at night, drinking tea alone in the courtyard. Lonely? You really don't want to find a partner? Get lost. I'm serious. You're also at Paragon now. How's Nan Chongsheng? When she comes back, I'll help you with your hair. Are you going to get lost or not? Fong Ping smiled brightly, joking for a while before returning to the main topic. After this breakthrough, I didn't have time to ask. After breaking through to Paragon, did your origin Dao increase your strength? As he said that, he asked again, did your vitality have a second qualitative change? Old man Li said with some regret, vitality changed, but origin Dao still didn't increase. Fong Ping frowned. Why does your situation feel a little similar to beginner martial arts? Logically, there should be an increase. Could it be that your vitality's qualitative change is the embodiment of Origin Tao? But if that's the case, your combat strength won't increase much. It's all right. Old man Li did not mind. He laughed and said, after my breakthrough, my vitality has already reached 400,000 calories. I was originally twice as much as the average rank 9. Now that there's another qualitative change, it's equivalent to my vitality reaching 1.6 million calories. If not for the fact that I've just broken through and my strength control has slipped a little, I'll definitely leave another paragon behind today. 1.6 million calories. Very powerful. If there was an increase, then it would be 3.2 million calories. He would be an emperor-level powerhouse directly. But Fong Ping still had no clue why Old Man Li did not have an increase in origin. One must know that Extreme Path Heavenly Emperors also had an increase. At the thought of this, Fong Ping said hurriedly, "Go ask Cat. I'm afraid there's something wrong with your path. Since you've taken the origin path, Extreme Path should also have an increase. Why isn't there an increase?" Old Man Li chuckled and said, "Don't worry about it. I feel that Extreme Path is another kind of increase. It's because of Extreme Path that my vitality can go through a qualitative change once. That's why I can achieve 9 refinements easily. That's why I can reach Paragon so quickly. The increase in Origin Path might not be reflected, but I feel that this feeling isn't bad. You said beginner martial. I feel that Extreme Path is a combination of beginner martial and Origin, but I'm afraid it's not too perfect." At this time, Fong Ping also thought of some things about himself. Cat's path. However, Cat and Old Man Li were still slightly different. Cat's world expanded, and he became stronger. That was an all-round improvement. Something seemed wrong with Old Man Li. At this time, Old Man Li also said, "Previously, when I was breaking through, someone told me that the path of Extreme Path was wrong. It should be that Hong Yu. I think he might be talking about something related to mentality." Old Man Li thought for a while and said, "I have a serious bias. These few days, I've never encountered anyone who pulled me into the origin world to fight. I dare not try it easily. Fong Ping, you can try it when you're free. I don't know if there will be big problems once I enter the origin world to fight." As soon as he said that, Fong Ping instantly realized the seriousness of the problem. Yes, Old Man Li's origin world might not be strong enough. If he encountered a powerhouse in the aspect of mentality, there might be big problems. "Don't resist, I'll try." As Fong Ping said that, his consciousness moved. In the next moment, he pulled Old Man Li directly into his origin world. In the origin world, Old Man Li glanced at MCMAU, then at Sun City, deep in thought. He somewhat understood why people in these two places could break through. Fong Ping did not care about this. At this moment, he looked at Old Man Li and suddenly blasted a punch. Old Man Li waved his fist to block, but was sent flying by Fong Ping directly. Fong Ping saw that his figure had become much more illusory and said in a low voice, "The problem is a little serious. Your bias is too strong. As far as I know, even Batian Emperor actually has mentality. He even consulted Annihilation on the cultivation method of mentality. As for you, it seems like you've really integrated it completely. Now you don't even have mentality. This clone is just a clone of your will." After Fong Ping finished speaking, he pondered for a moment and said, "I don't know if I can separate your vitality and mentality now. I'm afraid it'll be very difficult. The qualitative change in your vitality is actually not just vitality force anymore. It's a new energy produced after the integration of mentality and vitality force." As Fong Ping said that, he thought for a while and said, "Now that I've taken this path, I'm afraid it'll be difficult to turn back. I can only move forward courageously and continue on. However, I suggest that you pay more attention to the origin world. I'll provide you with some origin chi so you can consolidate it. Don't let others easily pull you into the other party's origin or let others break into your origin. This path has its pros and cons. Li, we can see that as soon as you broke through, your vitality strength reached 1.6 million calories. Perhaps you'll have Emperor-level combat strength soon. However, the cons are also very obvious. Right now, others are not paying too much attention to you. Once someone delves deeper, some of your flaws will be exposed. Old Manly nodded. His flaws were more obvious. However, he still smiled and said, "It's okay. No matter how strong the enemy is, I'll break them with one sword. If they're so strong that I can't break them, I'll be dead even without the origin being broken. It's just a matter of time. It's not bad to turn all your strength into attack power and become a full attack warrior. You should worry more about yourself. Don't worry about an old man like me. Right now, you're in a more difficult situation than me." Fong Ping smiled and appeared in the outside world at the same time as Old Man Li. Although Old Man Li's problem was very serious, he did not care. Fong Ping could not do anything about it. In reality, he could not do anything about it. However, he knew Old Man Li's combat strength. 6 million calories was really not weak. This old man's strength control had always been very high. Perhaps it had something to do with him giving up on other things and focusing on attacking. After a few days, if he continued on the great path, he might really become an emperor. Fong Ping felt that it would not take long for Old Man Li to become an emperor. At the thought of this, Fong Ping stopped thinking about it. Everyone had their own path. In terms of knowledge, he was not as knowledgeable as Old Man Li. He could not give any good suggestions. At this moment, Fong Ping had just broken through not long ago. In addition to the battle, he was too tired. After chatting with Old Man Li for a while, Fong Ping disappeared from MCMAU. He continued to be mysterious and did not tell anyone where he was in closed-door cultivation. In the sea, at the bottom of the sea, Fong Ping opened up a small space at the bottom of the sea. Only now did he have the mood to think about everything that happened today. Post-battle summary was also an important way to improve himself. I still made some mistakes today. Actually, I should have made a trip to the Spirit Emperor's side in advance. If I brought the Ash Cat, maybe I would have one more combat strength instead of persuading the other party on the spot later. The God Creation Envoy's avatar should not have been released in the beginning. But if I didn't release it, it would be difficult for me to fight Tiangue alone. But it's also hard to say. At that time, it was actually possible to borrow the strength of a few other saints. There's also the Ash Cat. I should ask everything clearly next time. If I had known that this cat could trap a few saints, maybe I could have killed one or two more saints. After summarizing the gains and losses, Fong Ping thought about himself again. There were still many flaws. In the end, Fong Ping looked at his new data, calculating how much room he still had for improvement. Wealth, 44 billion points vitality, 1,520,000 calories, 1,520,000 calories mentality, 18,000 hertz, 18,000 hertz, can be cut, origin, longitudinal 2,000 meters, increased by 110%, horizontal 7,600 meters, increased by 76%. Combat techniques, God-slaying saber technique, plus 9%, combat techniques combination deduction, 1 million points / time strength control, 82% ultimate outburst, 363-2040 cal / 448-4000 cal as vitality changed qualitatively again. Fong Ping, who had broken through to Paragon, should have a vitality of 760,000 calories. However, after the Paragon changed qualitatively, the system automatically converted it to rank 9 vitality. His basic vitality was as high as 152 million calories. One had to know that a weak Paragon only had 200,000 calories vitality at Paragon and 400,000 calories rank 9 vitality. Fong Ping's foundation was several times higher than those weak Paragons. I haven't reached the peak of this stage yet. This time, Fong Ping walked directly to 2,000 meters of the main path. At the impasse realm, 1,000 meters was only a step. Fong Ping was much stronger than the average Paragon. He went straight from Paragon Stage 1 to Stage 2. After the increase, it was even more terrifying, close to the limit of 4.5 million calories. However, his strength control had slipped slightly, dropping a little. At this moment, he had not reached the peak of his current realm. Otherwise, his vitality would be slightly higher. However, Fong Ping soon frowned. At the peak, the main path was too long. Walking 1,000 meters, the increase was 10%. 100 meters was only a 1% increase. This could not be compared to before. This was also the reason why many powerhouses had stagnated in the impasse realm for many years. I must speed up. It's best if I can integrate Magic City. Fong Ping had a plan in his heart. Next, he should settle down for a while and walk around Magic City properly. Chapter 1166. The Origin Road's length had reached 2,000 meters in a day. In terms of width, Fong Ping could expand it slightly, but he did not have time to do so before. At this moment, Fong Ping still had a period of improvement. Including his golden body, he could hone it again, letting his vitality reach the limit of the current stage. There was still a lot of room for improvement in his strength. Fong Ping even felt that he had hope of reaching the limit of a saint and beginning to touch the realm of a heavenly king. Of course, the rapid improvement of his strength also caused Fong Ping to lack some things now. He lacked the foundation and the accumulation. If he continued on the path, even if he integrated Magic City, he might enter a bottleneck period. The path ahead, he was a little lost. Fong Ping went in a closed-door cultivation again. The three realms, since the departure of King Wu and the others, entered a period of silence for the first time. War no longer broke out. The battles below the pinnacle continued, but this time, there was really no one above the pinnacle appearing. In less than 2 months, too many powerhouses had died in battle, more than the powerhouses who had fallen in the fake sky grave. At Spirit Emperor Dojo, hundreds of powerhouses fought, but the number of pinnacle deaths might not be as many as the outside world. It could be seen how frequent the battles in the outside world were these days. The catacombs. At the border of the 4 main courts, there was now a grand hall. Inside the hall, incomparably powerful figures appeared. Around them, the void cracks appeared frequently. Even if their auras were restrained, they were extremely powerful. Saints, not one, but many saints. The Divine Court Army's Viceroy, Temple Master Green Ink, 3 saints, and another 4 saints. A total of 9 saints were seated. Below, Ji Hong and the others were also seated. Further below, there were some important figures of the Imperial Court, the descendants of the true king, the masters of the Imperial Court, the sect masters of the Divine Sect, a grand meeting of the entire catacombs. 9 saints covered the catacombs. The atmosphere was a little quiet. This time, Tiangui's death was also a considerable loss to them. However, the presence of 9 saints was still enough to intimidate everyone. After an unknown amount of time, the Divine Court Army's Viceroy, sitting above, said indifferently, "The 3 realms are in turmoil, and the saints have returned. The great chaos has arrived. And this is not the end of the great chaos. It is just the beginning. The saints have fallen, and even the heavenly kings have fallen. Sooner or later, they will appear one by one. The Divine Court was destroyed in the hands of many powerhouses back then. We have many enemies, no less than the human world. I'll avenge the destruction of the Divine Dynasty sooner or later. Today, great chaos is also a great era. Some will rise, and some will fall. In the next few years, there will definitely be new powerhouses who will advance at a tremendous pace. The opportunity is right in front of us. The Divine Dynasty collapsed, and the remnants fled to the desolate border. After 3,000 years, the 4 great imperial courts were born, and many imperial dynasties and divine sects were born. Today, we want to rebuild the Divine Dynasty and rebuild the Heavenly Court. Hearing this, Sky Sword and the others' expressions changed slightly. They were not the experts of the earthly Emperor God Dynasty, nor had they experienced that period. When they died, there was also the Heavenly Court. But at that time, the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors were glorious. Today, the governor actually wanted to rebuild the Heavenly Court. The few revived sages frowned slightly and didn't say anything. There were some things that they were clear about. There must be a reason why they were involved with the experts of the earthly Emperor God Dynasty. Rebuild the Heavenly Court. At this moment, Ching Mo also said seductively, "The heavenly court shall be established in the three realms." Only the heavenly court was legitimate. The divine dynasty inherited the orthodoxy of the heavenly court and ruled the three realms for 3,000 years. Some rebels, the ones who betrayed the emperor, harbored evil intentions and shook the foundation of the three realms. During the divine dynasty's era, the three realms were peaceful. But now, it is in turmoil, and experts have fallen like rain. It is all caused by these rebels. In the past, the divine dynasty collapsed, but its foundation still exists. Now, we have returned. We will no longer rebuild the divine dynasty in the name of the divine dynasty. We will rebuild the heavenly court and suppress the rebels. The governor waited for her to say a few words, then said again, "Everyone, you are all descendants of the divine dynasty. Now that you are in charge of the land realms and rebuilding the heavenly court, we still need your help. If there is anything wrong, just say it." Below, the true monarchs looked at each other. King Huai hid at the back, not saying a word. Gu Chuan thought for a moment, then said in a deep voice, "Now that the divine continent has suffered a calamity, it is not impossible to rebuild the divine dynasty. However, I still have some doubts. Governor, please enlighten me. Please speak." Gu Chuan's expression was solemn, and his tone was solemn. "May I ask, Governor, who will be the master of the heavenly court after the heavenly court is rebuilt?" "Someone will naturally return." "Lord Earthly Sovereign?" Gu Chuan asked again, then said in a deep voice, "Or Lord Demon Sovereign?" The governor looked at him, and after a while, he said, "We will know in the future. We are all sages, and we will not recognize the weak as our master." Jihong thought for a moment, then smiled. "Will the ancient emperors return one by one?" "I don't know, but," the governor said in a deep voice, "it is very likely." Jihong took a deep breath, instantly feeling an incomparably huge pressure. He said again, "Then, after the divine continent is unified, how will we settle down?" The governor had already made up his mind. At this moment, he said calmly, "In the past, when the heavenly court was still around, there were also various overlords. The rebuilding of the heavenly court is not to make you slaves, but to listen to the orders of the heavenly court. In the past, the heavenly court had 3 envoys, 8 kings, 36 sages, and experts from all over. That was why the heavenly court was prosperous. Now that the heavenly court is rebuilt, we also want to appoint 3 envoys, 8 kings, and various great sages." At this point, the governor said slowly, "In the past, I controlled the army. When the heavenly court is rebuilt, I will control the army of the heavenly court as the weapon master." Rumble. The heaven and earth trembled slightly. The expressions of Sky soared, and the others changed slightly. Directly becoming a weapon master without changing his name was a huge taboo. If the ancient weapon master did not die, the governor would have to cross paths with him sooner or later. This was very dangerous. However, the more it was so, the more it proved the determination to rebuild the heavenly court. Overthrow everything. Start anew. The governor's expression was indifferent. He ignored everything and continued. Sky's sword sage will be the palm imprint envoy. Sky's sword sighed in his heart. In this world of great competition, one had to fight. Although he knew that this title was a huge problem, he still acquiesced to it. This was also something that they had discussed before. Rebuild the heavenly court, rule the 3 realms, gather the power and the world. Even if the power was with the humans now, they might not be the main characters. Fight. Without fighting, who knew who would be the main character? Palm Imprint Envoy, a very dangerous title, but Sky Sword still acquiesced. At this moment, the governor looked at the ancient sage who fought with Sage Yue and said slowly, "Sage Hai, you will be the Sea Imprint Envoy." This ancient sage was one of the overlords of the Taboo Sea in the past, and he had just recovered not long ago. Hearing this, he nodded slightly and did not speak. Sea Imprint Envoy. Everyone knew that the Sea Imprint Envoy was still alive. He was in more danger than the other 2, but wealth came from danger. They were not far from the Heavenly King level. As for the humans' boundless force, he was completely ignored. The three envoys were here. At this moment, the governor continued, "In addition, there are 8 kings. The other 6 sages here are all part of the 8 kings. In addition, the 2 kings, Tianji and Tianming, are also named as the 8 kings. 3 envoys, 8 kings, 11 sages." At this moment, some people had strange looks in their eyes. Ji Hong said slowly, "Governor, the 2 kings are named as the 8 kings. Was it you or someone else?" The 2 kings were much stronger than these people. They were true peak sages. In the end, the 3 envoys did not mention the 2 kings. They had thought that the 2 kings were not on the same side as these people. But now, the governor said calmly, "The 2 kings have contributed, but the heavenly court has just been established. Wait until they become heavenly kings, then we'll talk about other things." The 3 envoys and 8 kings were all sages. None were much weaker than the other. They had just recovered, which was why their strength had dropped. They might not be weaker than the 2 kings. Moreover, in terms of seniority, it was not the 2 kings' turn to be above them. Back then, when the governor was supervising the battle of the 3 realms, the 2 kings were just hall masters. The governor didn't want to talk about this. He continued, "Myriad Demon King, Heavenly Demon King, Jingqi, King Ji, Feng King, Guchuan, Tianyu are named as the 36 great sages." At this moment, Guchuan had no choice but to ask, "Governor, then what about our kingly 36 sages? Or something else?" They weren't sure how strong Li Zhu was. However, during the battle at the king battlefield, Li Zhu was so strong that even a heavenly king didn't attack him. These people actually disregarded Li Zhu. The governor had never seen Li Zhu before. However, that didn't prevent him from knowing who he was. How could he not know the masters of the 4 royal courts? At this moment, the governor said slowly, "When King Li returns, there will be arrangements." As he said this, he looked at the non-true God experts. "All of you should work hard to cultivate. When you become true gods, there will be a title. Then what about the return of the other true kings in God continent?" Ji Hong also asked. There were still many true kings fighting in the fake heaven tomb. 36 sages weren't enough. These true kings were overlords of their own territories. Would they be willing to be servants after returning? The governor said lightly, "With the re-establishment of the heavenly court, there will be many places to employ people. The re-establishment of the heavenly court's army will require the help of various experts. We will not mistreat them." As he said this, he said, "Does anyone have any other opinions?" Below, Ji Yao was silent for a while. Suddenly, she said, "Governor, after the re-establishment of the heavenly court, how will we treat the land of rebirth, which is the human race? The 3 realms will be unified." The governor replied, "What about the overseas immortal islands, heavens beyond, and the land of realms?" I said that the 3 realms will be unified. The governor frowned. "In a few days, Sage Hai, you will make a trip to the Sea of Bitterness and subdue the various immortal islands. I will also visit the heavens beyond heavens and let them return to the heavenly court. The Sky Sword Sage will also visit the blessed grotto heavens, and the heavenly court will appoint them." He didn't go into detail. Some places that were occupied by the emperor's bloodline were a different matter. However, where there were no experts from the emperor's bloodline, who would dare to resist the heavenly court when the 9 sages were alive? Ji Yao said again, "Then who should the heavenly court's army and the various city lords listen to?" The governor's eyes were cold. "We will listen to the heavenly court's orders." Ji Hong gave his daughter a look and shook his head. "Don't ask anymore." The 9 sages had reached an agreement. Although it was said to be a discussion, it was actually a conclusion. If he continued to ask, he would only invite trouble. When Ji Yao saw this, she suppressed the unwillingness in her heart and didn't speak anymore. Her father was conferred as one of the 36 sages. It sounded good, but in reality, it was just in name. These revived sages were going to rule God continent. With the appearance of the 9 sages, who in God continent could resist them? God continent, which had been divided for more than 2,000 years, was going to be completely unified this time. Seeing that no one spoke, the governor was silent for a while. Suddenly he said, "Then it's decided. Everyone please seal. It's better to not delay. Today, we will re-establish the heavenly court." At this moment, the 9 sages suddenly soared into the sky. They directly tore through the void and appeared outside the main hall. 9 powerful auras covered the sky and covered the earth, radiating across the entire underground cavern, suppressing everyone in the underground cavern to the point where they couldn't breathe. 8,000 years ago, the heavenly court was destroyed. God Dynasty inherited the heavenly court's orthodoxy and passed it down for 3,000 years. Today, the 3 realms are in chaos. We should re-establish the heavenly court and set rules so that the 3 realms can live in peace. The governor's voice spread in all directions. Today, the heavenly court shall be re-established. Heaven and earth shall bear witness. The various emperors shall bear witness. The great Tao shall bear witness. Please seal. At this moment, the few people in the sky threw out a huge seal. Heavenly sword seal. Heavenly speed seal. Heavenly skill seal. Not only that, a few more seals were thrown out. Back when the heavenly realm collapsed, some sage tokens were circulated. At this moment, these people threw out a total of 6 sage tokens. Not only that, but the viceroy also tossed out a large golden seal. The seal instantly grew many times larger, covering the sky and earth, revealing an ancient word below. Li, King Li's seal. The heavenly king seals of the heavenly kings who had fallen in the battle of the God Dynasty had fallen into the hands of these people. If news of this spread to the fake heavenly tomb, it would probably cause a commotion. 1 heavenly king seal, 6 sage tokens. At this moment, the heavenly king seal was in the middle, and the 6 sage tokens circled around it, emitting powerful auras. In the next moment, the 7 seals pierced through the sky. At this moment, many experts saw a shocking scene. The 7 seals pierced through the sky, growing larger and larger, covering the sky and earth. Many people were incomparably terrified. They saw the seals descending as if they were going to destroy the world. Father, Jiao stared at Jihong in shock. What was this? The divine artifact that stabilized the 3 realms. Jihong was also shocked. He transmitted his voice, the ultimate treasure that stabilized the 3 realms. Unfortunately, it isn't complete. Otherwise, this would just be a formality. The area covered by the seals would be the heavenly court's territory. As he spoke, the seals covered the entire God continent. At this moment, it seemed like only the 7 seals could be seen in the entire world. The seals descended. In some places, experts' auras erupted, but it was useless. The seals did not waver and continued to descend. 7 luminaries Moi Heaven, where the West Emperor's bloodline was located. 7 luminaries Moi Heaven's entrance was in the Forbidden Zone. At this moment, the sage of the West Emperor's bloodline walked out from the entrance. In the sky, a seal descended. The sage of the West Emperor's bloodline had a slight change in expression as he murmured, "How ambitious!" The earthly emperor's bloodline actually wanted to rebuild the heavenly court. Coincidentally, the West Emperor's bloodline was also here. At this moment, the seal descended, clearly intending to expel the West Emperor's bloodline. At this moment, a true god appeared behind him. He was also an expert of the 7 luminaries Moi Heaven. When he saw this, he revealed a worried expression and said softly, "Senior Xingnan, what should we do?" Previously, the human emperor's bloodline was also within the Forbidden Zone. They could still watch each other. But this time, Zhu Xian had fallen and Yuan Gang had escaped. Haoding Xiao Dutian had directly sealed the heavens beyond Heaven's Gate and no longer left the mountain. Even though such a huge matter had happened, he had shut himself in. However, the West Emperor's bloodline was the bloodline of the Emperor. What should they do now? Sage Sheng Nan looked at the earth-shattering aura and then at the 9 figures standing proudly in the void. He frowned. The Forbidden Zone was a whole entity. How could they allow others to sleep soundly beside them? The 9 sages did not care about the outer region but covered the entire Forbidden Zone. Their attitude was clear. The Forbidden Zone belonged to them. They could ignore the other bloodlines of the Emperor and not offend them. However, the West Emperor's bloodline either left or submitted. Sage Sheng Nan's expression changed. He was the only sage in the West Emperor's bloodline who had awakened. Obviously, he was no match for the 9 sages. If not for the fact that they were wary of the other parties, the 9 of them would have attacked directly. Sighing, Sheng Nan looked at the outer region. There was Wanwu Mountain and the people of the North Emperor's bloodline there. Moreover, the human race was also fighting in the outer region. Did he have to go to the outer region? After a moment of silence, the seal floated in the air. Previously, there was only 1 seal. Now there were 7 seals. Obviously, the other party had discovered him and was warning or intimidating him. Leave or stay. Sheng Nan was furious. The 7 luminaries' Maui heaven was originally controlled by the people of the West Emperor's bloodline. They had been rooted here for tens of thousands of years. He had come here as soon as he awakened, but now go. Sheng Nan's expression was gloomy. Activate the heavens beyond heaven and teleport to the Sea of Misery. Lord, the true God of the 7 luminaries' Maui heaven, was furious and unwilling. The 7 luminaries' Maui heaven has been here for many years. Teleporting now will consume a lot of energy. The heavens beyond heaven will probably be damaged too. Some spirit veins might collapse. Sheng Nan did not say anything. At this stage, did he really have to fight the 9 sages? He could only avoid them. Seeing Sheng Nan like this, the true God returned to the heavens beyond heaven helplessly. Very quickly, the void began to tremble violently. The heavens beyond heaven could be moved. It was a refined product. Just moving it would cost too much. Moreover, the passage that was built would collapse. Rebuilding the passage that connected the 2 worlds was also a huge problem. The West Emperor's bloodline left the forbidden area, leaving it to the 9 sages. On Wanwu Mountain, Yu Wei, Qinghua, and Ling Xiao looked towards the interior of Imperial Sea Mountain. There, the 9 sages soared into the sky. There, the 7 seals covered the sky. One of the seals had already reached Imperial Sea Mountain. However, it did not cross the border. Qinghua and Ling Xiao's expressions were solemn. They could already see a part of the forbidden area. The void was torn, and a prosperous world seemed to be moving towards the Sea of Misery. The West Emperor's bloodline had retreated. However, that was the heavens beyond heaven. The boundaries could not be evacuated. The 9 sages rebuilt the heavenly court. Their might was unparalleled. Were they going to cross Imperial Sea Mountain and force the Wanwu bloodline to move? At this moment, they were not the only ones paying attention. On Earth's side, Wu Quishan, Li Chongsheng, Jiao, and the others had also entered the catacombs. They looked over there with solemn expressions. Were they going to cover the outer realm? Heavenly Wood's incarnation had also arrived at this moment. He looked in the direction of Imperial Sea Mountain and said softly, rebuilding the heavenly court. How bold! Behind these people, there must be a top-notch powerhouse. Once the seals cover the outer realm will be a battleground. The heavenly court's territory cannot be invaded. Either we give up the outer realm, or we can only fight again. Wu Quishan said in a low voice, the humans are not afraid of war. The outer realm will never give up. If we give up, the next battlefield will be Earth. If we open a battlefield on Earth, Earth will be completely destroyed sooner or later. Even if we die in battle here, the humans will not give up the outer realm. These words were said resolutely and decisively. As long as the catacombs dared to cover the outer realm and dared to send people to fight, then they would fight. The humans have been fighting in the outer realm for 100 years. Tens of millions of people had died here because they were unwilling to let the battlefield enter Earth. Once the battlefield was opened on Earth, blood would flow like a river. They could not retreat. However, over there, 9 saints were in the sky. There was also the Overlord Level Whale Unicorn and many desperate realm people. At this moment, Wu Quishan was also deeply worried. Would another great war break out right after the war ended? Fortunately, at this moment, The golden aura only shrouded the restricted area and did not continue to spread outwards. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, actually, the humans were also unwilling to start a war again now. They were uncertain too. Could Fong Ping still find so many saints to help? Would the powerhouse, who suppressed the 3 saints with 3 avatars earlier, make a move again? They did not know. The only thing they could be sure of was that Heavenly Wood and Fong Ping both had the combat strength of saints. On Cat's side, even if he made a move again, it would be difficult to hold back 2 saints like last time. One would be enough to kill him. As for Jiang Hao's identity, they still did not know at this moment. They were also not sure where the mysterious powerhouse came from, and whether he would appear again. Since the catacombs did not cover the outer realm now, it meant that the catacombs did not have the intention to start a war with the humans again. This made everyone feel much more relaxed. The catacombs were also afraid. On the human side, they still did not know where the God Creation Envoy was, or whether he would make a move. Fong Ping, Heavenly Wood, Cat, Jiang Hao were all powerhouses. In addition, Feng Yun and Yu Wei might help again, including Lin Hai. If they fought again, the outcome would be even more difficult to determine than the last time. Based on this time the 9 saints decided to use the outer realm as the dividing line. For the time being, they would not conflict with the humans again. It was more suitable to use this place as the battlefield for both sides. On this day, the 3 realms were shaken. The catacombs re-established the heavenly court. The 9 saints revived and suppressed the restricted area. The Emperor West's bloodline retreated and entered the Bitter Sea. At this time, the land of the Bitter Sea was also filled with heroes. Deep in the Bitter Sea, a wretched old man's face was full of grief and indignation. There was no way to live. It wanted to look for Cat. Now that there were more and more powerhouses who had revived, whoever saw it wanted to take it down and chase it everywhere. Although the Bitter Sea was big, there was not much land. It could not keep wandering in the Bitter Sea, right? The restricted area was occupied by the 9 saints. There were also humans and the Wanwu bloodline in the outer realm. No matter how big the world was, there was no place for it to stay. What should I do? The cat tree wanted to cry, but had no tears. Other than the human world, it seemed like there was no place to run. However, if it went to the human world, wasn't it sending itself to the cat to eat? I'll wait for you to come back on your own. Magic City. The cat yawned and responded lazily. I'm too lazy to look for you. It's so troublesome to look for you. I'm just waiting for you to come back. When I come back, I can eat delicious food. I haven't eaten cat fruit for a long time. I really miss it. The cat yawned and opened its mouth wide, as if waiting for something. If Fong Ping saw this action, he would probably think of those fish demons who took the initiative to roast themselves and send them to the cat's mouth. The cat tree in the Forbidden Sea could not help but shiver at this moment. It was a little sad and indignant. It had nowhere to go. When the powerhouses of the 3 realms revived and saw it, it was like seeing food, although it could indeed be eaten. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.